Leave me in peace.
Ah, what a pleasant surprise. I was wondering when you'd grace us with your presence. The honor is mine. Right to business, are we? Very formal. But so be it. You caused quite a stir with that little scuffle of yours. I can't exactly say the old fool didn't have it coming, but most of us have become used to Harkon's ravings. Indeed, we are. From what I hear, you didn't exactly know the man for long, but considering how deep his hatred for Valerica went, well, it should come as no surprise that many of us had drawn his ire over the centuries, whether intentionally or not. Fortunately, when you managed to splatter him over the wall there, it caused a notable shift in the order of things. Well, aside from being rather discourteous were you to do so, I believe that my fellow kindred and I will prove quite the asset. Quite the asset indeed. But I haven't introduced myself yet, have I? I greet thee, ruler of Volkihar. I am Yashim. Yes. While I wish to greet you personally, I see the others have already made themselves at home, so to speak. You can find Lilith in Palace around here somewhere, or Roa if she hasn't wandered into the sea already. The girl did always have her head in the clouds. Be that as it may, I will impress upon them the need to greet you personally. Ah, yes. About that. Garen has been rather indisposed, and, by the look of it, will remain so. Indefinitely. An unfortunate disagreement, my liege. I did impress upon him the urgency of our arrival, and the need to speak with you at the earliest convenience, but, well, let us just say that time hasn't been kind to his temper. A rather unfortunate way to go, but such is the way of things, yes? Of course, I expected no less. You have greater concerns, after all. If I may, since the voice of the clan has been recently vacated, it would be an honor to fill Marethi's role for you. There are a great many things that demand your attention, and I would be willing to assist you in such matters. Speaking of which, you may notice our rather tense friend over there, an envoy from Clan Drelk to the south, but I will leave you to speak with her. A word of caution, however, Drelk are not known for their patience. Again, an honor to meet you, my liege.
So you're the new head of the clan, huh? Don't look like much to me. Well, well, you might have a bit of spine to you after all. About time someone stepped up and silenced that prophecy of his. Do us all a favor and throw that bow he wanted into the sea. No good was ever going to come from alerting the world over to our presence. And your lot used to condemn us for being rash. The name's Talon. No one else from the clan was interested in coming here, so the responsibility fell to me. Call it whatever you like. Drelk just wants to see what the latest to take the seat of Volkihar is all about. With the formalities, would you? Save the bootlicking for your own brethren. Suppose I'm here to see whether you'll doom us all again. In case you haven't noticed, Harkon wasn't exactly on the best terms with Kindred, even among this very hall. Surprised it took this long for someone to shove a sword through his gullet, but a welcome change, I suppose. That you'd be a fool to try anything with us. I'll cut your damn head off myself if I have to. See? You're getting it. Keep your fangs sharp and you'll be a few centuries old in no time. Me and Drelk, we don't have time for tiptoeing around feelings and all these politics. When blood starts spouting, there's only one way out. To get the lay of the land, what else? Suppose you're better than I was expecting, but that doesn't exactly say much, does it? Look, this act is just as painful for me as it is for you. So enough of the talk, You feel like returning the favor, then come see us at our little hole in the ground, too. Here, so you don't break your neck looking for us. Huh, typical. Word of advice, new blood. You see any threats, you take them down. Immediately. No ifs, no buts, and no hesitation. All these crises nowadays might make feeding easier, but with the amount of clans that have been wiped out the past years, Drelk won't go quietly. I can promise you that.
So, she approaches. I bid thee welcome, sister. Volkihar was a long overdue change in leadership. It is well earned, newest of all lords. Do not doubt yourself, even if your knights may be few in number. You stood before Harkon and survived. For all their prattling, their petty jealousies, no one else could have done the same. Forgive me, I haven't introduced myself, have I? I am Lilith, oldest of all the kindred here, back to a time even before Valeric and Serana took the oath. You seem surprised, but they were not the first to invite darkness to their hall. Indeed, I helped guide the women for what was to come. Was a long, long time ago. Too long for regrets, one should think. But come, I must ask you something. What do you think of your time since you returned? By one you would ultimately slay, no less. Not at all. While precious few value the traditions that have allowed us to prosper for this long, Harkon was also a madman. I know Serana felt differently, but the girl always had a weakness, letting her heart speak first. The man got what he deserved. But let us not dwell on that. Surely your time as a new head of the clan has not been all bad? Undoubtedly so. If I may, you have come into possession of a great many artifacts, even in your short time among the kindred. The power to use such things may be tempting, but you would be wise to lock them away, lest they destroy you first. Not quite Elder Scrolls, but as centuries slip by, each of us takes a fancy in one area or another. My own happened to be searching through history and ancient tomes. The fact I am still here now shows that caution is not always unwarranted. I deemed it necessary, though an unfortunate result of Harkon's prophecy. Serana and Valerica had chosen their course by then, and Harkon fell deeper into madness. He had already killed a few of our own in his rage. I swore that I would not betray their confidence, and fled far to the north, where I slumbered deep beneath the sea of ghosts as the centuries passed. Indeed, I do not begrudge your quest for it. Any boon is worth such effort. All that I ask is that you use it wisely, if at all. That is good to hear. I have no desire for machinations. These games that so many of the younglings like to play. Should you seek guidance, I would be glad to assist you in the many nights to come. Of course. Again, it is an honor to meet thee, Lord. I trust your leadership will bring much to the clan. Farewell.
Wonderful. I see you both managed to walk out of there in one piece. You wound me, and for the record, I wasn't first to engage with Merethi, but that doesn't matter now. How'd your little parley go, Indeed, whether they prove to be ally or enemy, only time will tell. You've picked the game up quickly, my liege. You shall make a fine ruler, I think. Of course. Surely your time among the mortals hasn't made you completely oblivious. While the dregs huddle in caves and feed on passers-by, we are of decidedly more refined stock. Naturally, we tend to live much, much longer as well. A few well-placed words among the right company can work wonders. Not everything need be solved with a blade. As you wish, my liege. If I may, when you have the time, go and see what Drelk have been up to. They may be quick to anger, but their strength and will are a force to be reckoned with. Harnessing that could be very useful indeed. In the meantime, you may also find our compatriots around the castle. Some will be more agreeable than others, but all remain kindred. But I have talked enough, and I don't wish to keep you any further. Now, let's see if I can get some of that local blood to the castle.
Now, where was the extractor? I must find some new flesh before it putrefies. Hand over the scalpel, would you? What? Oh, it's you. Apologies for the delay. I wanted to speak with you as soon as possible, but my research... well... these things demand attention, as they are wont to do. Right. Let me start at the beginning, shall I? I am Pallas, Altmer, as you can see, and that is Altmer, by the way. I haven't lived quite that long just yet. Before you ask, no. I have no association with the Dominion, and no, I do not think that the average citizen is a worm or some such. Lacking in intelligence, perhaps. That makes our work all the easier, doesn't it? Yes, I already know. But you have made yourself quite at home already, haven't you? A pity I couldn't secure at least a bit of Harkin's remains. I hypothesized the man had contracted some form of blood sickness, some kind of malady to the spirit. A soul, if you want to argue the details. Is something wrong? Threw me out? Well, that's preposterous. While I did get overzealous in my research of Auriel's bow, he made it quite clear that I wasn't welcome. Just goes to show where effort gets you in life, doesn't it? Speaking of which, though, do you have it with you? The bow! The bow! You know, the reason why any of us are here to begin with. Well, most of us. May I? Fascinating. I can see why my forebears put such credence in the thing. It practically radiates light. I'm surprised you haven't been permanently scarred by it yet. Holy objects tend not to go well with undead flesh. Well, that's a 9 for you. Or 8. Or whatever they're up to now. Is that supposed to be a jest? Well, at least it'll make things more interesting than the previous lord. Many things indeed. Unfortunately, I have less than no time at all to describe a single one of them. My area of expertise is in thaumaturgy, hemomancy if you wish to be amateur about it, and unlock the true potential of the blood. Oh yes, a great deal in fact. If you're referring to anything practical, then no, but I've made steady progress in the past few centuries. The Oblivion Crisis proved to be an excellent cover for acquiring test subjects. Alas, Dremora aren't as pliable as mortals. With pleasure. I shall let you know if I turn up anything useful, my liege. Your continued faith is, appreciated.
If there's any part of you that still cares, get her out of this place. Do your worst. My life is already forfeit.
Where am I? Don't come near me.
My, you are rather supple, aren't you? Come and sit with me, would you? I'll be gentle, I assure you. Ah, I see. You must be the new head of the family, Do forgive that little outburst. Pris must be playing hard to get again. In any case, it is a pity that things ended the way they did with dear Harkon. I would have loved to rend the flesh from his bones myself. Cowering isn't quite the word I would use, your royalness. He did make it exceptionally clear that I was no longer welcome in the hall. But who could blame me? Serana, my dear, it has been far, far too long. Come now, there's no need to recoil from my touch. After all, our little friend here only keeps you around for the skin you show. What else are you good for? As you wish. But I am yet to introduce myself, as it were. The name is Zyvin. Family is pretty, but useless. My lineage died a long, long time ago. Why would it? Not all of us were turned yesterday. Time grants perspective. Yesterday's worries become hardly worth considering. Emperors live and die. Years fall away, and here I am. Unlife is good. To serve your glory, of course. Admittedly, solitude grew rather tiresome after a while. Sabine is a dear, but so consumed with her work. Besides, I wanted to take in the musty drapes and muffled cries of home. It is where the heart is, as they say. Naturally, I am not so out of touch that I have forgotten what our blood is capable of. But you would prefer it didn't come to that, wouldn't you? So long as you keep us close to your bosom, then I don't see the reason to leave anytime soon. That is one word for it. Honesty is a virtue, certainly amongst those of our disposition, no? Just because others here present a face of kinship and camaraderie doesn't mean they're not lining up to stab you in the back. Of course, politics, infighting, that is the true curse of undeath. Just look at the mortals, all these wars, tales of succession. How disappointing that we are yet to prove any better. If you want my advice, dearest of all my friends, then listen well. Ignore the prattling of sycophants, the demands of clan and kin. Settle in for the centuries, and let all its splendor come to you. After all, what good is power if it doesn't benefit you? Fare thee well, my liege.
What now? Oh no. Are you all right? I think you know. I was not a willing subject. Let's just pretend you didn't, all right? I will be. Just give me a little time. I don't like him any more than you do. Let's just keep going.
Yes, my liege. Is there something you require? Oh, how much time do we have? I must say, it is quite the honor to be the voice of our clan. Your faith was not misplaced, I assure you. Let's see. My mortal life was rather uneventful. I admit I am rather partial to the finer things in life, and minor nobility had its advantages. Alas, when the Thalmor rolled in, my guise of a kindly patron to the arts wasn't as effective as I hoped. What? Me? A warrior? Come now, it should hardly come as a surprise that I prefer talk over bloodshed. Makes feeding much more entertaining that way. No, by the time things went south, so to speak, with the Concordat, I knew it was time to leave Hammerfell. Indeed. Although, not having to deal with the scorching sun of the Alakir made travel much easier. Fog is an excellent cover, as I'm sure you're aware. Mortal's eyesight is rather pitiful. Dear Harkin was always rather short-sighted. I managed to ingratiate myself, pretending to be an envoy from one of the underhouses back home. Of course, the lords of Hammerfell would never willingly let pure blood leave their halls. but Harkin thankfully proved to be less of a thinker in that respect. Oh, the machinations, the infighting. It's much the same across Nirn, I suspect. Still, their customs remain mired in traditions and the old ways. Feeding without permission on another's territory, even a fledgling, could be met with dire consequences, and I do so hate the smell of burning flesh. As I said, Harkin preferred the blunt instrument approach in most respects. Valerica and Serana leaving, apparently it drove him quite mad from then on. The others will be able to tell you much the same. He was always jumping at shadows and accusing those left and right. There's a valuable lesson in that, I think. Never put any faith in prophecy. So I've heard. However, please do avoid using it in anything other than extreme cases. The Dawn Guard may be little more than remnants now, but attracting the entirety of Nirn's attention would be rather unhealthy. Subtlety is underrated, my liege. With time, you will come to see its full effects and benefits yourself. As always, a pleasure.
Me head hurts no good. Gar no statue. Gar is Gar. She said she won't forget. She, pretty lady made Gar no hurt. No trick. Gar been this way since Big Boom. Boom. Stow dirty. Gar what clean. Gar started castle. Gar seated castle. That what Gar do. Gar no name. So Gar just sit. Gar just watch. Gar want see lady again. Gar see no good since lot turn. Lady nice to Gar. Lady talk to Gar. Where lady go? What? Me no understand. Like this? Gar no like this? Gar what wigs back? Nice talk you. Say soon.
My lord, I must speak with you about my latest findings. If I can find wherever I put my notes again. Ah, I see you've met Gar then. That's unfortunate. I had considered putting the thing out of its misery, but got rather preoccupied at the time. What? Oh, by Mora, no. I merely found him after whoever had tethered his soul to the stone in the first place. Fascinating creatures, gargoyles. I pity they couldn't become a bit more brain than brawn, though. Yes, I do remember something along those lines. Naturally, since it has difficulty constructing even a basic sentence, I doubt you'll get much more. Perhaps he was once the property of a previous lord, or predates even the vampires of this place. It does not appear to be anything other than an experiment gone awry. You could try reasoning with it further, I suppose. Without the original incantation, the soul must come to realize its predicament to break it. I haven't the faintest idea, I'm afraid. Whoever this Gar was derived from, they'll be long dead by now. It has been here in the castle long before I arrived. I know that much. Let me know how it goes, would you? The remains could be useful to study at some point.
Bum num num. Bum num num. Oh, Gar see you there. Gar hear much about you, boss. Big boss of big castle. Good, boss. You talk with Gar any time. What Gar help? What before? Gar sit long time. Gar here remain. Gar remember, yes. Pretty lady and then. Gar still think. Gar no find. Where pretty lady, boss? What her happen? Oh, she lost? Gar must find. Come, let's go. Just watch, boss. Gar be free. No fair. Gar beat Rock. Gar win. No worry. Gar protect boss.
I am so sorry. I didn't realize this tower was yours. I'll get out of here right away, I swear. You're the one who replaced Harkin, aren't you? I wanted to come in and meet you, but I just couldn't. Yes, I'm not very good at this, as you can see. I prefer to be on my own most of the time. Please don't call me that. Even Kindred or Clan. It's still all so new to me. Oh, a pleasure to meet you, my lord. Or, liege. I've never had to address a member of the court before. I'm sorry. I'm making a right mess of this, aren't I? My name is Aurora. Thank you. To tell you the truth, I find it easier to be out here on my own than sitting near the rest of the clan back there. The sky, it's so beautiful. It's like an ocean that could almost sweep you away in its embrace. It wasn't, well, exactly by choice. Not that I don't like it here, I mean, I do, it's just... Exactly. I found it easier to just leave it all behind. See if I could make my own way and put this to good use. Only to walk straight into the Dawn Guard. Luck, more than anything else. Besides, there's no point praying to the Divines now, is there? A Bosmer woman found me before they managed to light the pyre. I never got her name, but I suppose I should be thankful. But you have more important things to be worrying about. Don't listen to me, I'll just stay out of your way. You are too kind, but I think I would just make a mess of things. I know, I'm not ashamed if that's what you think. I suppose I'm just still figuring things out, you know? But thank you. I promise I'll come in when I need to. You know, I was kind of scared to meet the one who killed Harkin. He was fierce enough as it is. To kill him, I thought you'd need to be far worse. Come now, you can't be that bad, surely. But I like you. If you ever need to find me, you know where I am.
Go on in. They're already waiting.
Figured you'd make it sooner or later. Welcome to our humble abode. Those bug-eyed freaks make a good deterrent for anyone foolish enough to come looking around. Help yourself. There's no shortage of bodies. I hear it tastes like rotten meat myself. Is this the part where you start making demands then? Throw your weight around and show us some of that Volkihar hospitality. You didn't kill Talon on sight, so you must be good for something. So I did. Wanted to get a good look at who I was dealing with. You seem well enough, and not raving about prophecies is a start. You caused quite a stir killing the old man off like that. Pity. I wanted a shot at taking his head myself. Suppose so. Castle's a damn labyrinth, though, so you can keep the territory. Drelk, well, we don't mind being down here in the muck. Consider it temporary arrangements. Our little hole in the ground got ransacked by the Vigilance a while back. Not too long before you wiped them out, actually. Figured we'd move east for a while. Have some sport with these Forsworn everyone keeps talking about. No one's going to miss a few tribals here and there. Better yet, no backup, no guards. A fight's a fight. We don't stick to each other like flies on carrion. It's just our way. You can speak with the others if you're up for it. Or, better yet, a fight. Get a taste of the one who turned Harkin into a smear. As for the rest, they've scattered to gods nowhere. Last I heard, Alfane was down in Blackmarsh. Good hunting in the bogs there. What? Not having a leash on them at all times? What would be the good in that? Tracking this lot like those mortals and their damn trade goods. We of the Drow clan understand what the blood really means. Not curtsying at court, not siring every maiden you can lay your hands on, but strength. Pure, unadulterated, unbridled strength. Doesn't matter if it's 10 years or 10,000. This ain't no curse, believe me. From who? A guard patrol? They can barely keep their shields up, they're pissing themselves so much. With the war, the Forsworn, the Hag Ravens, and who knows what else is lurking in these mountains. It's a wonder the mortals even bother sending them out. Course. Why wouldn't I? You and I, our methods might be different, but we're killers. That's what the old ones never understood. We should embrace this, not agonize over stuff we can't change. You want to last longer than your predecessor, you better learn to do the same. You want to talk? Let's talk. Just give me a minute while we sort out the... I told him to get it under control. Not now, damn it! What have I told you about keeping the door chained? Next time it gets loose, it'll be your ass.
I got back.
I'm okay with the dark, but I've spent more than my share of time in caves already.
Last chance, idiot.
Women, am I right? No coincidence it's like this every few weeks.
Say that again and I'll smash your face in. Now get out of my sight.
Get out of my face.
Mara's tits. A timely demonstration of incompetence, no doubt. Damn fool nearly let this piece of meat loose. That would have been bad news for everyone within 100 leagues of here. Trust me. She? No, you ain't looking at anything human no more. This here's a white, crazy bitch with the claws to match, too. Course. Volgar would have never come near one if they could help it. Listen well, then. This thing is what happens when one of us gets blood-starved with no way out. I'm not talking about feeling a bit thirsty either, but the worst of the worst. Hell of a mage, too. Shame it had to end up like this, but that's the risk. That blood of yours, if it takes hold, there's no turning back. It will feed and feed and feed until there is nothing left. That is a white. It's a long story. Besides, we can still throw it a body every now and then. You should stick around. It's quite a show. Anyway, what were we talking about before? Some kind of deal, right? Aye, we can agree on that. No point starting something up if the pieces haven't shoveled around. Besides, I want to see what you got first. So long as your folk are willing to steer clear of any feeding in the area, we'll do the same. Like I said, I don't want that castle. Too many corners. Makes fighting in close quarters a right pain. That's what you get when dealing with the right people. No backstabbing, no double dealing. I don't want any part of that crap. There's plenty of blood to go around as is. Even more when the Falmor make their move. Locally, no. I couldn't care less about Ulfric or Torek. I've been at this long before they were even an itch between their father's legs. If the elves do try their luck again, it's going to be a bloodbath. Could go either way, really. You do that. I've got to kick some skulls in before the night's out.
So, you're the winch that took down Harkin, huh? What'd you do? Give him a little peek in the middle of combat? Sorry to disappoint you, friend, but your status ain't worth a bucket of piss around these parts. We're not thriving off Falmer blood, that much is clear. You want to start something, that deal I heard about will be off in a second. Then we'll see who's making it out of here with all their limbs still attached. Just the one stupid enough to start asking questions. Iva's the one who handles that side of things. Most of us are just here to kill. After all, it's what we're all here to do, isn't it? Feed, ravage, disembowel. All in the name of good fun. Isn't it? Don't tell me you haven't felt that little pang every time you chase a mortal through the woods, loom over one that's sleeping peacefully. You're only deluding yourself. Back at that castle of yours, look around. You'll see your kindred are exactly the same. No kidding. Our fearless leader may have a temper, but it's not all bad. Suppose I'm still here for the entertainment. Occasionally, a fight will break out and someone will get their entrails pulled out their mouth. Might even be the lucky one enough to do it. Still, Iva proved herself well enough. It's strength that buys respect here, Stray, not status or wealth. In a way, time was I'd chase a piece of axe like that down myself. But I didn't even get the time of day after stepping into her turf. A snapped leg, fractured skull, and 4 missing fingers later, she proved to be stronger. That's worthy of respect. She pulled this rabble together after all. Why do you think? We may be old, the blood powerful, but strays aren't going to last long on their own. Most band together under lords, not unlike your old friend Movarth, but they're filth, merely playing at being so-called vampires. Like it or not, you and I are something far greater. Clans help with honing that, as much as deterring any mortal attention. But nothing lasts forever. I'm just here to get my thrills before the storm hits. Of course, you say that as if you're surprised. Even before I was turned, nothing felt quite as good as taking the life of another. Watching life leave their eyes. It is beautiful. But that's just the start. You'd be amazed at what you can do with a corpse. Uh-huh. Tell you what, Lordling. You ever want a real fight? You come find Cole, and I'll tear your spine out. Wouldn't mind a clan to myself.
Not interested in talking. In case you haven't noticed, we ain't exactly here for a pleasant conversation. Besides, you got what you came for, didn't you? Way I see it, you should turn tail and get back to the castle before you get your clothes all dirty. Like I said, it's the petty crap that your lot worries about, not us. I was just doing what I needed to do. What? You writing a book or something? Ugh, what's with all the questions? You'll be one soon if you keep this up. I don't want your questions or your friendship, got it? Turning your back on your old life was the best thing to ever happen to you. You'll understand in time, so just stop with this pretense already. Then you'll have a whole castle full of people to hang off your every word. Just because you're a guest here doesn't mean I have to worship the ground you walk on. Ugh, nobles. Go on, get out of here already. I need to get back to sharpening my blade.
Oh, I like this one, yes. It has been too long since another has stood before us. We are Kusit, and we are not Kusit. We will take the thrill of the hunt and tear the mortals down to the bone. It is delightful to feast upon the flesh and quench our thirst upon their veins. You know this well. They called us madams. Oh, yes. Long ago, the people from the city, they spat at us, kicked us when we were down. But we still got back up. No, it is we who have turned these tables. It is them that beg for our tender mercies. Oh, the smell. It is enough to make a man sick. To the contrary, we have mastered it, treasured it, consumed it. Oh, if you only knew its sweetly song, you will feel the same hunger as we do. There is nothing that can compare. Why do you avert your gaze from us? Are we not beautiful? Can you not hear the song? Oh, the blood. We must have it. We must have it now.
Another cave. I've spent
You are
enough
the
time
one
underground
who
myself.
slayed
Go
Harkon.
in. I'm right behind you.
I had not thought to cross you here. Please, there is no need to get violent. I genuinely mean you no harm. I come seeking your presence at our hearth, and the woman who leads this clan, should she agree. Not as you are accustomed to, no. We have sought a different path. It is difficult to explain. Because we are not your enemy, Lord of Volkihar. All we ask is for some of your time, nothing more. From all across Nirn, Kindred, we have each been scorned and cursed in our own way. No more than the wind upon your hair, we do not bear you, nor any other kindred, ill will, Lord. All that I ask is that you consider its contents. Something has shifted. We are being watched. I will do what I can.
Who's there?
I'll show you for real.
More needless suffering and loss. These soldiers were not mine. I would never... If I have led them here, I can only apologize, for I had no reason to believe I was followed. This only makes the reason for my journey here all the more pressing. It is something that is not so easily summarized, like a fable to a child. If, and it is indeed your decision, you make the journey to the hall, we shall be waiting. Fare thee well, newest of all lords. We shall await your arrival.
Here we go. No need. Others talk enough. Best get clear of the area. You've more important things now.
This land feels twisted. I'm surprised my father didn't want to live out here. Oh, wow. This is gorgeous. I'm glad you're here with me.
Who are you? What is your business here? This is a sacred place, Kindred. Do not befoul it with deceit. These people mean you no harm. You are from Volkihar? This changes things. The one who felled Harkon and retrieved the bow. Perhaps you will understand more than most.
That's enough, Ishki. Let them pass. I am sure they do not mean us harm.
You heard the lady. Speak with her first.
I apologize for that disturbance. Ishki means well, and we have all grown wary of strangers. Perhaps not. I suppose part of it is in believing in the better nature of those we deal with. But that's precisely why I, and you, are here. In your defeat of Harkon, and willingly or no, preservation of our kind, you achieved a great many things. I do not doubt that you have fed when needed, as much as desired, and it is not my intention to shame you for doing so. Your triumph over not just evil, but the countless deaths that Harkon and the Falmer's prophecy would have brought upon us, it is something worth celebrating. Even if it was for different reasons, the result was clear. The outcome, good. This daughter of Cold Harbor, yes. I fear that she had to burden more than any of us for this to pass. To put it plainly, I believe that you understand, more than most, that we do not need to play out the same bloody pact we have become slaves to. Your pursuit of the prophecy, defeat of Vyther and Harkon, it shows that there is a better path for us, and, Stendarr willing, it can extend to all kindred. I do. Cursed as I may be, we each still have a choice in how we use these abilities granted to us. Many lower vampires, mere fledglings that hide in the dark corners of the world, would use it for ill, preying on the weak. But high vampires, so-called lords, we can overcome our nature for a better world. Beyond the liberation of our very selves, mastering not just our blood, but the purpose for which we may use it. You and I, we are not beasts. You know this, regardless of what you may have done before, what any of us may have done before. Your doubts are fair. You are not the first to say such things, nor will you be the last, but they are unwarranted. Look around you, friend. Each and every one of us here is striving for that very purpose. That is a fair question. I have pondered it myself, but like any other, it requires faith to see returns. We are no cult squatting in the mountains, but a family, a house, that believes there is more to vampires than a slow descent into the abyss. Please, for your own sake as much as this world's, turn your back on Volkihar, on power struggles, and come and join us here. Your clan would be welcome too. We hope to extend this gift to all those within Skyrim, even beyond. That is all I can ask. It is not an easy path, but it is my sincere belief, the belief of everyone here, that it is for the better. Feel free to speak with the others should you desire. Our hall remains open to you, Lord of Volkihar. I pray only that you make the right decision.
You are the one. Forgive me, I thought you would be different. My name is Neva, a traveler from the Elderwoods to the south. It is no trouble, I just find it helps clear my thoughts. The blood often leaves me restless. It can be difficult to concentrate. It's that obvious, is it? I don't really want to talk about it. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of. Mirren showed me there's a way to atone for what I've done. I'm aware of that, but maybe there is a way to help make things right. Of course it has. If you only knew the way I've fed, the way I've killed. I'm trying. I am, but each and every day is more difficult than the last. Beyond that pyre, I feel like my own life is one heresy after another. You know her? I had no idea she was with the Volkihar clan. It does me good to hear she made it safely there. She has a kind heart, that one. Something to cherish. For once we lose touch with our humanity, there's no turning back. Thank you. I mean it.
I underestimated you. I apologize for earlier. It is not easy to trust outsiders, now more than ever. But you've already made quite the name for yourself, haven't you? We spent quite a while cleaning up after the battle that took place here. To think that Auriel's own fell to the curse. But that just strengthens Mirren's resolve, I think. She is admirable. Something I never thought I'd say of a vampire. It's not what you think, though. I'm here of my own free will. I owe her my life, in fact. Many in the Order would have burned me right alongside her for doing so. I doubt that counts for much anymore, though. Rank won't mean much out in these parts. What with the Hall now a little more than rubble. I wasn't at the Hall, as you can probably expect. I'd been out in the field for quite some time, tracking some Dremora that had escaped from Riften. Turned out to be a dead end. The Dremora was long gone by the time I got there. It happens. We could only go on what information we were given. In any case, I was running low on supplies by then, and managed to stumble into a vampire den. Fledglings, but they can be nasty when caught unaware. Perhaps, but it was one of your kind that ended up saving me, no less. The little blighters got me good, and I knew I'd contracted something by the end of it. Suppose it was the God's own luck that Mirren found me when she did. Stopped me from turning, saying that I must remain immortal. I knew from the moment I saw her, that smell of dried blood that clings to your lot. But she had helped me, something I never would have expected. In a way, but Mirren doesn't view it like that. As I recovered, she told me much the same thing as she has for you. Thought she was mad at first, or at least it was some kind of trick, but she was earnest, genuine. By that point, I figured the Order could do without me, and I followed her here, led by a vision. Apparently, the blood was singing to her. Didn't really know myself at first. As soon as Lumaris started to grow in number, however, I knew Mirren had hit on something special. If she can truly overcome the curse, it would change everything. I suppose I'm still here because I want to understand. And hopefully in time, see the results for myself. Mirren's teachings have helped calm them all, I think. I've drawn some from time to time, but other than the occasional scuffle, we've kept the peace. I'm not completely naive, but at the same time, I'm also able to watch over them during the day. I would like to think so. Whether or not it will, I honestly can't say. But we owe it to ourselves to try, for both kindred and mortals alike. As you wish. Stay safe out there, and no offense, but I have no desire to see Volkihar myself.
Greetings, sister. This one, he was the keeper after Vyther? I am not entirely certain, but there are notes that have been left behind detailing his thoughts on the matter. Perhaps he sought to track down other Falmer, or do something for these so-called betrayed. Where he may be now, I cannot say. Let us hope his god proves kinder to him than the former Archcurate.
What do you want? That was not my proudest moment. It is not easy to keep a hold of the blood, you know. Every moment, every day, it feels as if it's just lurking beneath the surface. Ready to take over. Of course. I am Rallis, one of the newer members here, if it wasn't already obvious. Mirren believes tempting our hunger, and thus exerting control over it, is the first step in mastering this curse. No, it's not that. I'm just not used to facing an enemy I could not defeat with my blade. All this talk of Stendar, it's not that any of us are forced to be here either. We each chose this path, but I don't know if I have what it takes to see it through. I'm not going to give in that easily neither. Now you're just being kind. Forget this. The smell of fresh blood is starting to make me ill. So what's your story, huh? Figured you'd make your pilgrimage through the valley as well? Suppose she thought we'd be far enough away to stop, should anyone truly lose control. The one who took down Harkin, from what I've heard. Never met the man myself. But your little coven isn't exactly known for exchanging pleasantries. Nearly brought the whole world down on our heads, fooling with that prophecy of his. Never said I didn't believe it myself, just that it caused a lot of trouble for us all. Even more so had he been the one to get his hands on the bow. Same reason as many of the others. You must have noticed by now that word travels quickly among the clans, right down to the refuse squatting in caves. I'm not proud of some of the things I've done, but soon forgive me. I don't think it's all a curse. In the end, I'm just like the rest, looking for answers. Something. The pious type? You and me both. Mirren believes in all this though, in each and every one of us. Perhaps she's just as mad as they thought. Fair enough. I may have my doubts about how far this may go, but it's worth trying at the very least. But you didn't come all this way to listen to me bumble around like a fool. You'd better get going.
So many writings, and I can barely make heads or tails of it. One of the many, many books around here. Mirren brought even more with her, if you can believe it. Admittedly, some are more esoteric than others, but I must find a way. To the contrary, there is a great deal of knowledge within these tomes, but it would seem I do not have the proper mindset for it. Nor the patience. But I must learn. I need more information, more answers. How much time do we have? I suppose now isn't the time for jests. You're the one from Volkahar, aren't you? Mirren wasn't sure if you would come here at all, or peacefully. I take it you're planning to join us. Well, it's worth considering her offer at least. All of us were reluctant at one point or another, but she does mean well. I wouldn't go that far, but the idea that we could transcend our very nature and become something more, it's worth the risk, isn't it? Besides, Aurelia is the one who allowed this to happen in the first place. We're here for a better future. If all goes to plan, then nothing. Mirren and the rest, we're not cultists. If anything, we're all too aware of the conditioning, the history that our fellows have allowed to occur on Tamriel. That makes the goal here all the more important. We all have to start somewhere, don't we? We do not seek to convert with fire or blade, neither. Any higher vampires that do not wish to participate in Mirren's teachings, or join Lumaris outright, are free to go on their way. A rumor and a promise. Lumaris had already established themselves by the time I arrived. I shared the same doubts as you know. The same look on your face. Watching one of our brethren, teetering on the very edge of becoming a white, regain control of themselves. It may not be magic or any divine intervention, but the sheer will. That is why I'm still here. Our number may be few, but Mirren hopes to make a home for all kindred here, regardless of where they're from, or what they've done. Remember that when you return to your castle. Knowledge, my friend. These books contain boundless truth. I would see that knowledge used in turn.
Greetings, sister. That is good to hear. Not all have, nor will, take to what we believe so easily, but I do think it is for the better. You have doubts, but that is all right. I understand it is a lot to take in, given how each of us already wrestles with our nature. That is a longer story than I think you would care to hear. But another once extended their hand to me, much as I seek to do now. I make no secret of the things I've done, much the same as it is for you. The beast can get the better of us all at times. But that, more than anything, just makes what we are doing here all the more important. Imagine what it could mean, overcoming it entirely. No, not at all. We are still creatures that feed on blood. That will never change. But if we could master our thirst and feed only on the willing, coexistence, for the first time ever, may be possible. There would be no need to block out the sun, to use magic, or to hunt in shadow. Sibyl Stentor is already a sign that we can exist alongside mortals. You refer to the Vigilance or the Dawn Guard? True, they may take some convincing, but even they cannot wage war forever. There must come a time for peace, even among the oldest of enemies. Of course I do. I have to, even if it is only a dream. Stendarr teaches not only righteous might, but forbearance and mercy as well. After all, if we can prove ourselves for the better, who's to say others can't follow in our wake? That is fair. As I said, many view it as a dream, and a hopeless one at that. The time may very well come where you needn't be shackled to your castle any longer, nor hunt and kill as we were once forced to do. But even if it takes 1,000 years, is that not something worth striving for? I'll take that as a compliment, even if you choose not to follow our path. We have no wish to war with Volkihar. You are welcome here any time, friend. May Stendarr guide your way.
Now, where did I put my quill? Ah, interested in learning more, are we? I suppose I'm the closest thing to a scholar around these parts, so I can share what I know. You'd be well accustomed to Volkihar, I'm sure, but is there anyone else you wish to know about? Of course. Well, as you're already aware, Harkin was leader of the clan until that position was recently, vacated. Despite his delusions to the sun, the clan itself has remained fairly secretive, from what I understand. Naturally, his search for Valerica and Serana led far and wide, even abroad, but given the fortifications of the place, few mortals ever returned from the castle. Is Volkihar truly unknown to the wider world? Doubtful, but it's more a question of whether the mortals want to try their luck. You'll have your work cut out for you, no doubt. Ah, well, I doubt I'll be saying anything that you yourself didn't experience. Quite the feat, recovering Auriel's bow like that. And to slay the clan's previous lord as well, no less. What the future holds for you next, well, that is entirely up to you. Yes, the Drelk are rather infamous, despite being relatively few in number. Admittedly, what little mention of them I've found has been obtained grudgingly, or violently, so I fear I won't be much help in this matter. Still, references to their matriarch, Iva, have cropped up over the centuries, even leading bandits, although the clan is rarely mentioned by name. Whether this is paranoia about their movements potentially being tracked, or just impatience for anything resembling the written word, who knows? I doubt Stendarr's wisdom would extend to them, or that they would be interested in receiving it. It would seem so. Why, I've only had the very brief, pleasure of meeting Iva. Her stubbornness does inspire a kind of respect. I suppose it's not too surprising that she'd be able to rally various undesirables to her banner, but not for long. Much like a wave or an erupting volcano, Drelk act as more of a force, exploding outwards, only to recede a short time later. Whether that is a gift or a curse, that depends on who you ask. You've already spoken with Mirren, so I doubt there's much more I can tell. The clan, or house, only recently formed, so whatever writings you see around here form the archives, so to speak. Mirren hasn't been too forthcoming about her past, nor would I want to divulge any information without her knowledge. Still, you are probably aware that this little gathering is entirely by her initiative, and she has lived for a very, very long time indeed. How long is anyone's guess, but it is remarkable that she's still so well adjusted, given that most kindred, I should say, slide into the abyss. Unfortunately, it would appear so. I am only a few decades out by now, and we each take to the blood differently. However, whether it's by hunger or willfully throwing away our last shred of humanity, few vampires manage to reach their first millennia. Even vampire lords, although fledglings are more often unlikely to survive their first week than not. Has she truly mastered the blood? I have no idea, but I imagine if she's right, it really would change everything. But I've talked enough. Back to my readings then.
Halt. We had not expected to see you here. You, foulest of creatures, are consorting with forces beyond your control. Had you the sense to stop, you would return to squatting in that castle of yours and await the judgment of your betters. Nothing would please me more than to pull that wretched heart from your undead flesh. These Lumeris are profane, corrupt. You cannot defy your base nature, the hunger that barely differs you from animals. The time will come when all my righteous brethren will purge the darkness of your kind from this world. But it shall not be this day. You will pay for the death of every mortal creature, every drop of blood. I did not come here to fight. Turn back before this path destroys you, creature. We do not extend this as a mercy, but a warning. Last chance, creature. Your hubris will only destroy you.
Gar ready! Doing good, boss, but Gar no like human cry. Make stop. And get blood on stone. No nice. Gar think, boss. Gar like boss. Huh? Gar no think. Gar no. Gar like castle. Castle big. Stone no bleed, boss. Stone. Oh, yes. Gar like outside. Gar smell air. Can boss go now? Gar go with boss? Oh, here Gar go. Haven't moved in many, many days. Whee!
Ah, you return. It is good to see you, my liege. And I hear there was a slight detour to the valley. I see. Mirren is very old indeed, but time has not been too unkind. I am surprised to see her still keeping up the struggle, as it were. I apologize if you were meant to be informed, but yes, what she is attempting is not the first time it has been tried. But you also survived your meeting with Clan Drelk, no doubt. I trust things didn't get too violent? Would that I could say that I'm surprised, but they did always love consorting with their more base desires. Let us hope that the clan has kept it well locked up. Are you feeling well? If I may, you seem distracted. Quite. I had not thought it would strike you as well. It would seem so, as if we'd all suddenly been struck by a stupor. I have no idea. We have never experienced such a thing, I'm afraid. Perhaps you could ask dear Serana. You two were nearly inseparable from what I hear. Beyond that, I don't think I could be much help. Oh, of that, I have no doubt. The question is whether it is a mortal design or the meddling of something else entirely. Perhaps there was something to Harkon's disgust of lower vampires after all. That is just my way, my liege. A little sensation is hardly worth stressing over, is it? Of course, my liege. Let me know if you require anything else.
By the blood. What now? I've been trying to make my peace with it. We've got enough to worry about right now. Actually, now that I think of it, Verther... Wait, that almost makes sense. This feels like the place. I don't like this. This is all wrong. Knowing him, who's kind of sick. Then let's get going. A strange race, these Falmer.
You seem troubled. Have you discovered something more? The Snow Elf. Curious, but their abilities are unique, if nothing else. Particularly a champion that turned into one of our own, no less. But from what I've heard, your last meeting proved to be rather... final. Then I trust your judgment. A pity the Falmer didn't manage to die off the first time, I will see to things here until you return. If ancient magic is tied to this, then who knows what the other clans may do next. Be wary, my liege.
Life here is better than you could find anywhere in Skyrim.
Gar feel good, boss. Gar feel strong. Feel free. Gar stay right here. Protect boss. Boss, no worry. No get it big castle.
You're here! You've got to stop them! Some of the drug vampires, they stormed in and went straight for Mirren, demanding answers. This is bad. I don't know what to do. Yes, it seems we all did, but I have no idea, honestly. It could be anything. Please, do what you can. We don't want to fight.
I'm no fan of the sun, but it would be bliss.
Iva, please! There is no need to draw weapons!
No? Care to explain how this has happened right after you people started meddling with the other clans?
We had nothing to do with this, woman. Your paranoia is getting the better of you.
Say that again.
Stop this! We should be working together, not at each other's throats!
If you've done something, you'd better be willing to pay the price. We will brook no threat from you or anyone else.
We are not your enemy. I don't have any more of an explanation than you do.
You really expect us to believe that? Last chance.
Enough.
You better have some answers. My sword arm is starting to itch.
Iva, and I see Volkihar has joined us as well.
Start talking, woman.
These two speak the truth. They had no involvement.
Are you behind this or not?
I had hoped it wouldn't come to this, but it seems there is no choice. What you felt was an echo of sorts. I apologize if it has caused you any distress.
Mirren? What are you talking about?
The effects, so far as I have been able to determine, are harmless. It was I that tapped into the source, in search of what it was connected to.
Speak plainly, damn it. You're not making any sense.
To put it plainly, Vyther was not alone.
The Falmer? What are you?
Among the writings I've discovered, it seems he found a group of slumbering elves, ancient elves, untouched for centuries deep beneath Skyrim. In his hatred of Auriel, he corrupted them, turning them into us. What all of you felt, well, that was my attempt to reach out to them in turn. And it seems they will soon awaken.
What a mess. No, of course not. On my word, neither I nor anyone else here was aware of Mirren's intentions. A cabal of sleeping Falmer. Stendarr preserve us. You may be right, unfortunately. All of this could have been prevented had Mirren just destroyed those writings. Let Vyrthor's plans fade into nothing. Who knows what could be unleashed if they awaken? I trust Mirren's intentions, but meddling with this? It was a step too far. Drelk have already returned to their hideout. This news will have spread far and wide soon enough. Of course, I understand. I know I have no right to ask this, but if you care anything for the sake of your brethren, your kindred, please do not act on this information. This will only lead to more pain, I'm sure of it. Farewell. I pray this won't spell doom for us all.
My liege, I hear things didn't quite go as planned. What happened at the temple? Ah, that is not good. I'm afraid we have little choice in the matter, Lord. If even a single kindred is already aware of these Falmer, we have to pursue them. There is no telling what they may do once awakened, least of all how others may seek to turn them to their advantage. And since Drelk couldn't help themselves with meddling further, I do not doubt they'll be trying to use them as a weapon. Speaking of which, if I may, what do you intend to do with these Falmer? Our own kindred, no less. I trust in your judgment, my liege. All I would say is that you should be wary of where meddling with ancients may lead. Serana may have returned, but I doubt all will be as agreeable. Nevertheless, we must move quickly. You said Mirren provided writings from the former Archcurate? A pity we couldn't speak with this Gelibor before his disappearance. He may have been able to shed light on his brother's plans. Do you have them with you? I see. It's practically falling apart as it is. Let's see. A riddle? How quaint. I suppose it couldn't be that easy. Seek the three to unlock the sun far deep below. A mine splintered from Dragon's Gate, nestled by ninth amid the plains. Finally, the serpent in ice. Only then shall thou art know. Sun far deep below. I assume he is referring to these Falmer, wherever they are being stored. Perhaps they were fellow worshippers. One of these three, objects of some kind, portal stones. I rather dislike this cryptic nonsense. Most observant, my liege. That would explain the whole unlocking part, but I'm afraid I won't be much help locating exactly where they are. I shall leave this in your most capable of hands. I shall keep the castle on alert, should these revelations embolden anyone to try something, although I doubt even Drelk would be foolish enough to. If I may, I do not wish to intrude upon the many matters that already have your attention, but we must act on this with due haste. I expected nothing less, my liege. We are fortunate to have you at the head of our clan. In the meantime, you may wish to check in on the others. It seems recent events have left many of our kindred uneasy. Perhaps one of them may even be able to shed some light on these keys and where they may be located. I was never one for riddles myself. But I won't take any more of your time. There are a few things demanding your attention, but I will be here should you need anything else.
Head inside. Boss wants to speak with you. Falls from the sky if I'm lucky. I thought so. Why does there have to be something to figure out? Drug material?
What do you know? You've made a habit of sticking your nose into just about everyone's business, haven't you? What does it look like? Of course something's wrong. Tits for brains over here thought it was wise to leave our illustrious guest unattended. You saw yourself how that crazy ball of rage and anger behaved. Now the damn thing's loose. No thanks to him. If you say a damn thing, Cole, I will rip your damn head off myself, got it? No. But if Scylla's been locked up here for that long, she'll be itching to feed on anything within 100 leagues of here. Crazy bitch. And I don't fancy the mortal's chances of facing up against a sorry sack of magic. Damn thing nearly took my eye out once. You don't think I'm aware of that, Lord? But if you're so keen on sticking your neck out like this, then maybe you can stop her before the whole province is dead. You, Cole, stay right here, understand? If I come back and find that you have moved so much as an inch, I'll throw you in a cage myself. As for you, take Talon with you and get moving already. In case you haven't caught up yet, time isn't on our side. So long as it involves cutting the head off, then so be it. Now get out of my sight. I need to feed before I burst a muscle.
Up for the hunt, huh? Didn't expect one of you nobles to still have some fighting left in you. Scylla's going to be moving right towards the nearest food source. Markarth's not too far away, but Rorikstead would be my bet. If it was just the Forsworn, I'd say leave them to it, but a white running into local guards is bound to bring trouble. We don't need all the vigilance coming down on us again, got it? Look, you might think you're tough and all, but you've never fought a white. These things are nasty, far beyond any other kindred you've killed. So long as you're willing to get those hands of yours dirty and stop it before it gets too far, we may be in with a chance. If you're ready, then let's do this. Follow me!
Don't say a word.
No time to talk. White might be crazy as anything, but the makes it predictable. First stop will be Old Hralden. We can go from there.
Don't like those eyes you got. There's a bad hunger to them.
Get back! All of you! Come here. I've been meaning to take your head off for a while. Here we go! Ugh, she did always have a nasty temper. Of course, the damn thing got me good, but I'm not going down that easily. Hunger really has driven it to the edge. We don't have any time to prepare. We have to rush for Rorikstead before the White turns it into a bloody mess. You lead the way.
Your skin's as pale as the snow. You scared of sunlight or something?
Why'd you even bother? You do the honors. Cut off its head. I'll see to the rest. You know, you weren't half bad. Could have made a decent bounty hunter in another life. About time someone took that sorry sack down. We should have never kept Scylla around like that in the first place. You go on ahead. I'll clean up here and make sure any survivors keep their mouths shut about what's happened.
I assume it's been dealt with. Ugh, the flesh is already putrefying. You'd have to be mad to try feeding from a starved beast like that. Disgusting. Scylla was tough, crazy as anything, and with the hunger to match. I don't envy the mortals who got in her way. Good. Any survivors will think twice about alerting the guard in the future. And before you start preaching about how we'd kept her around in the first place, you can save it. I've already had to deal with Cole's whining. Uh-huh. Now get out of here. I've got more important things to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice you were there. I was lost in my thoughts again. I find it easier to, well, relax out here. Just gaze up at the sky. Oh, yes. I am quite aware of the, well, drawbacks of being like this. But Castle Volkihar, I find, is too much to be around for long. In a way, yes. But what brings you down to here anyway? Is there something I can help you with? Oh, I see. Well, thank you. I have been feeding, as promised. Although I suppose we all look a little pallid now, don't we? No matter how we might wish, some things will never change. No, not at all. You were already busy as it is. I don't want to burden you any further. I just needed to do something, is all. Well, I was wondering if you might be willing to accompany me. To Solitude, I mean. I have been running low on supplies, and I also wanted to buy some new clothes. No, that's okay. I would prefer to do it myself, if that's all right with you, of course. Perhaps we could go together, stretch our legs, so to speak. Really? I hadn't expected that you would agree. It will be nice, I think, to get away from here for a while. Oh, sorry. Here I am forgetting who I'm talking to. I don't mean it as an insult, really. It's just, well, I don't think I'm the type for all these clan and kindred things. Even before I was, I kept to myself. Thank you. Really. So, will you accompany me to the city then? I would be happy to have you along, Oh, wonderful! I'll be waiting by the main gates for you. It would just attract attention otherwise. We won't be able to do much trading in the evening, but I'll see you there. I'm looking forward to this now. Now, I just need to remember the way. South, I believe? You're here. I was worried you wouldn't come. I admit, I'm a little nervous. All these people around, I'm not used to it, to be honest. Thank you. I really do appreciate it, taking the time to be here. First stop will be to, the dress store, or tailor. Radiant Raiment, I believe. You needn't worry, I'm not asking you to pay for this. I did bring my own gold at least. Septims are still the currency, right? I'll stop babbling. Come on then, let's move. I do love the smells of the city, the hustle and bustle of the mortals. A lot of memories in this place. Some good, others not so much.
Spare some gold for a veteran?
Hello, shopkeeper. I would like to buy some clothes, if that is something you'd allow.
I trust you're not planning any trouble.
Who? Me? Why would you think that? No, I'm just looking to get some new clothes. These are, robes from home.
Take a look. Clothes and raiment for the discerning customer.
Oh, yes. It's very nice.
Let me know if you see anything you like.
The selection here is more than I expected. What do you think? There's a wine red dress in the back from what I could see. The embroidery is lovely. I don't think it's quite my color though. What about a velvet doublet? A potato sack? Why would I wear... Oh, you were joking, weren't you? I told you I wasn't any good at this. I suppose the gown would suffice. Midnight blue, like the great open sky. Alright, I'll just be a moment. There, the shopkeeper should have everything she needs. I would like to visit the market stalls, if that's alright with you. Yes, I know. I would just like to look at them, even if Kindred cannot eat as we used to. At least I can savor the smells. Come on, I won't take up much more of your time, I promise. It's nice being back here, among people, I mean.
Spare some gold for a veteran?
We sure stick out from the crowd, don't we?
I'm not interested, Jari. It doesn't matter how many times you ask.
You might want to rethink that. You're missing out on some wonderful opportunities working in that bar. You know you can afford a septim or two.
Apples, tomatoes, leeks, and cabbages. Fresh and ripe.
I've got a little work if you're
It's you! I can't believe it.
Fresh fish.
Sorry, you must have me confused with someone else.
You don't remember where you are.
Hello, Solana.
Tass? No, this is all wrong. You can't be here.
But I am happy to pay my way. Please, come with me. Let's just get out of here.
You shouldn't have come. I must remain dead.
So the stories are true.
You never saw me here, Tass. I'm not the person you remember.
No, come with me. You really don't look well.
Stop. Just stop it.
I want an explanation. What happened?
Straight from the fjord.
Leave me alone. All of you, just leave me alone. Can't you see it's already hard enough as it is?
Get your fresh fruit and produce here.
Spiced wine, the taste of home and heart.
Veteran, it's not much to ask.
Destruction magic's fine. Just don't go burning down any buildings.
So much for my big trip to the city. Yes, I'm just sorry you had to see that. It was a moment of, well, weakness. Tashi was a dear friend. Not in my wildest dreams had I ever thought I would see her again, least of all in Skyrim. I always make a mess of things. I wanted to wipe her memories, you know, forget that she had ever saw me, but I just couldn't do it. I don't want her, or my family, to have to go through that pain again. I thought if I could just hold on for as long as I can, maybe it wouldn't be so bad, that I wouldn't end like a monster. I'm sorry. Even as one of the vampires, the others still, well, they scare me. A year from now, 10 years, a century, is that really all I have left? I never wanted this. Never. God, I'm such a coward. But is it? Here I am, even after all this time. I still feel like a girl hiding under the bedsheets. I've certainly tried to let go of my old life, just feed and live and enjoy it, but I can't. This path, it's not for me. Does that really change anything? Here I'll be 10, 100 years from now, long after everyone I know, everyone I've cared for, is dead. Every time I feed, that part of me gets a little bit stronger, a little bit louder, as it whispers in my ear. I'm afraid. Afraid that I'll lose everything, including myself. For better or for worse, I suppose all any of us can do is wait. I'm sorry to have brought you out here like this. I feel like I've only wasted your time. It was a foolish thing to come here. I threw it away. It'd be floating somewhere out at sea by now, and that's probably for the best. You don't need to worry about me. I'll get back to Volkihar by myself, but I appreciate you coming all the way out here for me. Thank you. This business with the Falmer, it will not end well. I know it. Oh, I see. I won't lie. It has been on my mind for a while. Seeing Tashi again like that, it was an uncomfortable reminder. I suppose I should be thankful, at least, that I could restrain my hunger before doing something really terrible in the city. Well, I'm not so sure about that, but I would like to believe that, really. But I still made a mess of things, didn't I? I'm so sorry for wasting your time like that. Now you are just being kind. I thought it may have helped remind me, you know, of before, what it meant to walk among mortals. In truth, I feel more adrift than ever. Some days, when I'm climbing into my coffin, I hope to not wake up again. But listen to me going on and on. You don't want to hear about my problems. For what it's worth, I really do appreciate you coming with me like that. For now, I think I'm just going to stay here, Just myself and the sky.
Did you notice anyone on the way here? Good, then we still have some time. But they'll be moving in before too long. It's the Dawn Guard, or whatever's left of them. Ever since things have picked up around the temple, there have been soldiers hanging about. Mirren refuses to lay a hand on any of them, even if they come in force. But I can't promise that playing docile will be enough for them. The Vigilants were ruthless enough, and these remnants? Bordering on insanity from what I've heard. You already stood face to face with one. Who knows what they've been planning for the rest of us here? No, but I could say the same of you. In any case, if that Isran fellow wasn't extreme enough, we'll soon find out. Come on, get inside. I don't have the perception of your kind, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out they'll have scouts watching.
Ah, I see you've brought a friend. Welcome back, Lord.
Volkahar here didn't see anyone in the valley, but they're close. They have to be. There's no way the remnants will be pulling back with these numbers.
I am aware, yes. They seem to be coming in great number as well. A pity they come with violence as their intent. However, it is not entirely unexpected either.
Mirren, we have to do something. Defenses, combat, anything! You can't seriously expect to sit here and wait for a bloodbath.
These remnants, their methods are indeed extreme, but I do not believe they will attack if unprovoked.
Meeting them would spell the end. For you and this clan.
Please do not use that word, my dear. I prefer house or family.
Call it whatever you want. You and all your kind here will be finished if you're not ready to face them. I used to be one of them, remember? The Vigilants are nothing compared to what I've heard about these remnants.
We have made it this far without bloodshed, and we shall continue without it. Stendarr will grant deliverance, Ishki. You need only trust yourself.
Mirren, please.
They're here. You must face them.
What? Me?
Yes, Ishki. Those within this hall were not the only reason they came. Your past has come knocking once again.
Me? Why? Why would they have come for me? The Vigilants of Stendarr never cared about me. I only joined for a hot meal and a place to sleep, more than anything else. It was Mirren that showed me a better way. No, there has to be a better way. I can't just step back and let them all be slaughtered. Come on. It seems I'll have to face them myself. I don't like this. The temple is no place for a battle, and I doubt even the remnants know what they're getting into. What do you want? Why have you come here?
We could ask the same of you, traitor. Did you not take the oath? Did you not swear to purge all manner of darkness with his light?
Yes, but this is different. These vampires, Kindred, they do not wish to harm mortals. They are actively trying to be better, to be like us.
That is irrelevant. A beast may pretend otherwise, but it cannot transcend its nature. These creatures live to feed and cause suffering on others. You have killed others like them before.
This is a mistake. Look, I know you have no reason to believe me, but what if they're right? What if vampires can change themselves? Do we not owe it to ourselves to at least let them try to be better than they are?
Well intentioned or not, you are a traitor, Ishki. We have come here this day to offer one chance to return to the fold. You must turn your back on these creatures and demonstrate your loyalty with this temple to the sword.
Please, I'm begging you, don't do this.
You know our oath, our purpose. Sparing one monster means that we would be complicit in whatever suffering they may wreak next. Your companion there is already responsible for crime after crime against nature. The fact we have not struck them down yet is a mere courtesy.
I can't do that.
Think carefully about your next choice of words, Ishki. More than your life may hang in the balance.
I used to believe in Stendarr's will, in our oath to purge darkness from this world. But being here, it has shown me there's a different way. If the vampires can change, then who are we to judge them?
Foolish, foolish woman. She will be judged like the rest. You will have to excuse me for not being lectured by filth. You are less than the muck beneath my heel. It would be both an honor and a pleasure to purge the lot of you with flame. Is there anything more to you than idle threats? Your weakness, vampire, is believing your blood makes you better than any other fledgling. This is false. I have personally taken the heads of your brethren before. You are no different than any other beast, and must be put down. Your transgressions in acquiring Auriel's bow have not been forgotten. I can assure you of that. We will march on Volkar soon enough. As expected, you fall back to your base desires to kill and feed. Look around you, girl. These vampires were never going to change. To arms for Stendarr! You cannot befoul me.
You're as good as dead.
My strength is unbreakable, as is yours.
Death awaits you. I'll try and make these.
First you,
I love a
Skyrim.
good fight.
Disgusting.
I love a good fight. Take me?
Not.
I suppose I was asking for that. Oh, but they could have done a lot worse. I may not have the healing powers that you lot do, but I'll live. A shame things went down the way they did. I had hoped to convince him into leaving. That was one band of warriors, but there'll be more soon enough. Still, what matters is that Mirren and the others are safe. I wasn't much help in the end, but I appreciate you stepping in like that. Wouldn't have expected another clan to take interest. I suppose so. Looks like they've become even more extreme since Isran's time. Hard to tell them apart anymore. I agree. Mirren should be informed, if she doesn't know already. She's always had a keen sense for these things. Look, I know you may not see eye to eye with her, and Volkahar has its differences, but thank you for believing in me. If not, this. In any case, I probably need to sit down. I think My kidney feels like it's moved somewhere it's really not supposed to be. Don't you worry about us, okay? I'm in with Lumars till the end. No doubt about that.
You return, with blood on your hands. I had hoped, even with the odds against us all, that both sides would be able to see reason. It seems I was mistaken. You didn't need to kill them, Lordling. Blood only begets blood. We should be better. Must be better. Intention does not mean deed, Lord. Extreme in belief though they may be, I doubt even they would have put the temple to the sword. Though different as the sun and moon, we may have met on common ground. I fear that will only be more difficult now, if not impossible. Not only can I not believe that, I already know it to be false. Look around you, Lord. See the people that have gathered here. The spurned, the hateful, the young and old. What I offer is not judgment, but redemption. For even a creature as cursed as the Kindred are can prove themselves to be better, to live better, then it is a worthy dream. You may be right, and yet, if there is even the smallest chance, I cannot allow it to be left untested. I say this not to scold you, not to pass judgment on your actions, but to impart understanding. We are not slaves to our past, nor our deeds. All I hope is that you consider the ones to come.
Look, I don't know if you're still here out of some misplaced sense of duty or what, but this isn't going to end well. I don't like this. The temple is no place for a battle, and I doubt even the remnants know what they're getting into. I used to believe in Stendarr's will, in our oath to purge darkness from this world. But being here, it has shown me there's a different way. If the vampires can change, then who are we to judge them?
Foolish, foolish woman. She will be judged like the rest. You will have to excuse me for not being lectured by filth. You are less than the muck beneath my heel. It would be both an honor and a pleasure to purge the lot of you with flame. Is there anything more to you than idle threats? Your weakness, vampire, is believing your blood makes you better than any other fledgling. This is false. I have personally taken the heads of your brethren before. You are no different than any other beast, and must be put down. Your transgressions in acquiring Auriel's bow have not been forgotten. I can assure you of that. We will march on Volgar soon enough. Oh, we did not come here to retreat. Even if you were to defeat us here, there are always more righteous souls ready to shadow your every step. If that is what you believe, so be it. But all I can hear is the hubris of your blood, sheer arrogance to declare yourself Lord. You know nothing of mortal kind. You shed everything the moment you allowed yourself to be degraded by this disease. And I should take the word of a traitor and leech? Spare me. Whatever progress you believe they've made is a ruse. Your kind always fall back to the most base of desires in the end. That is why each and every vampire must be destroyed. No? The warriors you see before you are willing to lay down their lives the moment we take the oath. It is as Stendarr shows, the might, the will to see this done, to protect the mortal world from you. You dare speak of mercy? You disgust me, vampire, turning your back on every part that is sacred and mortal. Even after you had joined the Dawn Guard's ranks, not even the Daedra could sink as low as you. And the sheer relief of that is a welcome gift indeed. You may pretend a vampire to echo high society, diplomacy, and craft. But you are monsters. Nothing you ever do or say will change that. You are vermin to be destroyed. Nothing more. Is that so? Do you expect us to believe that? The hunger of your brethren can never be truly satisfied. That is why you choose life among mortals. Like a plague or curse, you feed and feed and feed until there is nothing left. Why? What could possibly require pulling our forces back when we have made it this far? Even if this Lumaris claims to be Bull. If it is what is required, it is not an easy path we walk, but it is necessary. There is some truth to what you say. Very well, creature. We shall not interfere with the gathering here, but I cannot say the same for Volkar or the rest. Know that we shall one day return, and your fate has already been sealed. Ishke, do not approach our order again.
I suppose I was asking for that. Oh, but they could have done a lot worse. I may not have the healing powers that you lot do, but I'll live. Never thought I'd see a vampire reach common ground with the Dawn Guard. We're damn well lucky that didn't turn into a bloodbath. That was one band of warriors, but there'll be more soon enough. Still, what matters is that Mirren and the others are safe. I wasn't much help in the end, but I appreciate you stepping in like that. Wouldn't have expected another clan to take interest. I suppose so. Looks like they've become even more extreme since Isron's time. Hard to tell them apart anymore. I agree. Mirren should be informed, if she doesn't know already. She's always had a keen sense for these things. Look, I know you may not see eye to eye with her, and Volkahar has its differences, but thank you for believing in me. If not, this. In any case, I probably need to sit down. I think my kidney feels like it's moved somewhere it's really not supposed to be. Don't you worry about us, okay? I'm in with Lumars till the end. No doubt about that.
The girl among your halls, she is not like other kindred, not accustomed to our ways or faults. Her humanity is something to be cherished. And that seems to have been for the better, given the outcome. You should be commended for the restraint. I do not mean that as an insult, Lord, but in thanks. You chose a different path, the better path. I understand you desire to protect your kin. Indeed, I feel the same for each and every one of them here, Ishki most of all. Yet, if a sword is met with only another sword instead of an open hand, then we shall be doomed to this cycle forever. I do not want that, for myself nor for any other kindred. Do you? These unknown horizons, strangest of territories, it is never easy to delve into uncharted waters. But your actions showed it may very well be the first step to a better world, for all of us. And like all worthy things, it is not without its challenges, obstacles to overcome. Though you are not among our number, you showed that it is not just us who can walk the better path. For that, I am eternally grateful.
A pleasure to see you again, despite the circumstances. I am afraid so. There has been, well, an escape. I hadn't ever expected to say those words, and yet, here we are. It would appear that some of the thralls got it in their heads that they preferred to be outside the castle walls. How they achieved this, we are still looking into, but it would appear that it was not one, but two of them regular, even desirable feeding to the clan. It seems there were 3 in total. One failed to make it beyond the Undercroft, and the Deathhounds quickly saw to that. The second, Tanitar, an orc that was used for blood sports during Harkin's times. I heard it was quite entertaining in its time. Finally, Pris, the little rose of Zyvan's eye. For that, it would be better to speak to the lad here. I will not trouble you any further. I wash my hands of this mess.
I want their heads. How dare she flee the castle, even after everything I've done for her? Would that I had been there myself and not those useless husks. How do you think, damn it? The thralls have been assigned into labor groups, clearing out sections of the castle. It would appear the 2 of them thought to try their luck. A pity their freedom will be short-lived. The other thrall, yes. But I doubt the hounds will have left much of them to recover. Let me find them, my lord. I will show them a world of torment their feeble minds can scarcely imagine. Perhaps were I listening properly. In her quiet moments, I did sometimes hear her speaking of a miller to the east. What was it? Where the river meets the sea? You must go after her, if not for my sake, my lord, then for the good of the castle. What the other clans may think of a thrall escaping us. If I may, please do not harm Ferris Pris yourself. I will have a special gift for her waiting on your return. Farewell.
I'm afraid I have nothing for you, friend. Just a woman stopping by quickly for a hot meal before I depart. Please, leave me to my business, if you would be so kind.
What brings you this way, friend? I was just returning to my family in Windhelm. Act? Why, I have no idea what you mean. I am simply on the way home to Windhelm. There is wonderful spearfishing to be done this time of year. Quite lucrative, if you know what you're doing. Business? Why, I don't require any business, friend. I am merely, enthusiast. Worthy of a few septims at market, though. You can keep the whole family well fed with a good catch out at sea. Well, I was on my way home from visiting my cousin in Solitude. There aren't many ships traveling this far north nowadays, so my journey to the city was an unfortunate necessity. Me? I don't see why I must volunteer my name, but if you must know, I work for a trade shop out of Windhelm. Travel over land is hardly suspicious now, is it? Given recent times. What do you mean, stranger? Why, it's, the white filter. I procure alchemical supplies for the shopkeeper there. Healing salves make for a good business. I should take that as a compliment, then. I am not so sure about that. Perhaps you are merely mistaken. I don't think... You should probably leave, stranger. I wouldn't want things to get out of hand. I knew we wouldn't get far.
Stop! Please! Please don't hurt him!
Pris, what are you...
The route is up. The vampires have already found us, Tan. Look, we're the ones you came here for. But you must also understand that we can't go back there. We just can't.
You may be different from the old lord, but the way your lot treats us, we're little more than animals, to be slapped around or killed on a whim. If there's anything left in you that is mortal, please, just let us go. Pris and I want to be together.
You have no idea what it's like, even now. The prospect of him laying a hand on me, I want to throw up. We are not your enemies, vampire. And we are not your property anymore. Just let us go. You already have all the blood you need.
We have done our time, stranger. Done our time, and then a whole lifetime of it over again. Pris and I just want to have a fresh start. Together.
Pris, my dear little Rose of Volkahar.
No, he's here.
What have we here? I see I'm not too late for our little reunion.
Touch her, and I will kill you myself. I swear it.
So hostile. Did you think taking a brute to your side would deter me, my dear? Look at you, all dressed up.
Don't you dare come near me!
My liege, what a pleasure it is to see you here as well. I hope you don't mind me following you here. I simply couldn't wait to be reunited with her.
Stop him. You are his superior, are you not? All we want to do is flee together and live a normal life.
You lost that privilege when you turned your back on me, little Rose, and I am none too happy at your behavior.
I think...
You will return with me, won't you? Think of how happy we were together.
No, we can't let it end here. Stay where you are, Pris.
I will count down from 5.
Don't do this, vampire. You don't have to be like this. We are not your enemy.
5.
Walk away, Zyvan. I'm not your prize anymore.
4.
Don't you dare!
You dare!
You make yourself feel
not bad.
Done and done.
I don't know what to say. I thought you would have chosen his side for sure.
Good riddance. You were like him, but you chose differently when it counts. I don't know if I can ever forgive you, given what you are, but thank you. I mean it. I'm still getting my strength back, but Tan has organized a ship to take us south. I never ever want to see this province again. So much blood, so much suffering. You vampires will do as you must, but even if it's only small, treat the mortals better, would you? Come on, Tan. Let's get away from this place. For good. Oh, nice to see a friendly face this far from the city. I'm afraid I have nothing for you, friend. Just a woman stopping by quickly for a hot meal before I depart.
What brings you this way, friend? I was just returning to my family in Windhelm.
Where'd you come from?
Not now.
I will not die here.
I just
Ten, I can't see you.
You've killed them. The orc was filth, barely worthy to lick the muck from my shoes. But Pris? What an unfortunate end for my little Rose. I suppose I should be feeling some sort of anger were I still mortal. Would a slight pang of hunger count? I suppose it would be rather unsightly to start licking that from the floor. In any case, I suppose it was about time to dispose of her, given the trouble she'd caused. Naturally, don't mind me. I may stop for a bite to eat on the way. Until then, my lord.
No, we can't let it end here. Stay where you are, Pris.
I will count down from 5.
Don't do this, vampire. You don't have to be like this. We are not your enemy.
5.
Walk away, Zyvan. I'm not your prize anymore.
4.
Don't you get? You're a coward and a fool. You had to infect yourself with this curse to make yourself feel wanted, loved.
3.
This whole time, we mortals have been thinking the vampires were stronger than us, better than us, in every way. But it's not true, is it?
2.
The fact of the matter is, you're cowards, and you know it.
1.
I don't love you, Zyvan. I never loved you. No matter what you tried, you disgust me.
My little Rose. Rose.
Don't you ever come after us again. Next time I will tear your head off myself.
Pris, we have to go.
Bye, you pathetic wretch. You don't deserve a name.
What happened to us? It wasn't supposed to be like this.
Someone, just take me away from here, please. I feel dizzy.
I see someone has been speaking with Pris. Come now, why spoil the fun? You're more than welcome to take a bite. Some nights she can barely tell which way is up, you know. I usually prefer a little struggle to spice things up, but she is quite the comely young thing, isn't she? Then think of dearest Pris as another disposable face among the sea of corpses. They all come and go eventually, don't they? Perhaps it would be a mercy to just kill her, but I would hate to end this so prematurely. I can be quite gentle, you know. Chain them, feed them, let them run wild. It's all part of the fun, isn't it? To think that we used to be as helpless as that. Sometimes I keep her chained up just over there. After all, she has nothing but time.
There's nothing requiring your attention. And, of course, my liege. What is troubling you? Yes, I see what you mean. Granted, all of us have our preferences, but the lad does get rather animated. It was this behavior that had him exiled from Volkihar in the first place, truth be told. His advances on Serana had left a rift within the clan. Are you seeking a more permanent solution, then? Are you certain that is what you desire, my liege? I am not seeking to undermine your authority, merely that someone may take issue with your decision. I do not envy the girl, but Pris is still just a mortal. As you wish. I will personally see it done. One of the thralls will be able to clean up the mess. If you ask me, the lad was long overdue a lesson.
It seems there were 3 in total. One failed to make it beyond the Undercroft, and the Death Hounds quickly saw to that. The second, Tanitar, an orc that was used for blood sports during Harkin's times. I heard it was quite entertaining in its time. Finally, Pris, the little rose of Zyvan's eye. Everyone knows the girl was Zyvan's little plaything. Were he still around, he may have been able to provide more information. Beyond that, I fear there isn't much we will be able to go on. A great deal of time has already passed since the escape. In truth, I admire the mortals' will and ability to make it through the Undercroft by themselves. Should anything change, I'm sure Yashim will inform you, but it seems these thralls have gained their freedom. I will take my leave.
It's so bright out here. I don't know how you stand it.
I am here.
Ah, I see you've woken that thing up. If Gar grows too talkative, I may have to impose a time of quiet contemplation. Ah, yes. In truth, I had no desire to intrude on your already full plate, but there are some things that require more measured response. Naturally, this is where Volkihar comes in. Usually I would leave other clans to their business, but this has caused significant unrest. You are all too familiar with Drelk and their, well, particular brand of lunacy. You may have seen a Khajiit among their ranks. Hemis, I believe. The cat is a few gods short of a pantheon, if you catch my meaning, but that alone is not enough to cause this mess. No, it seems the Khajiit lost control on Riften. A number of bodies ripped apart, no less. I hear there isn't much left. Precisely. The kindred of Harkin's time may have resorted to openly terrorizing the local villages, but subtlety is our greatest strength. I'm sure I do not need to tell you, my liege, that were this to be traced back to us, the consequences could be significant. It would seem not. I can only imagine what plot they have concocted in the meantime, another foul beast they're attempting to tame. Alas, the responsibility falls to us, it seems. Now more than ever with these remnants skulking about. Again, I'm sorry to bring this to your attention, my liege, but it seems there is no one else attending to this little catastrophe. Such are the duties of the clan, cleaning up the messes of others. I shall let you know if anything changes. From what little I've heard, the Khajiit is down by the Ratway in Riften. Farewell.
You look like you could use a drink. What do you say to some cheap mead?
It hurts.
Mangy cat.
Got a lot of nerve coming down here. They might attack you. I hope you're here for friendlier reasons. I owe them a bit of payback myself.
What? Stop right there. I'll fight and die if such fate is mine.
Huh? Oh, well, I'll leave that to you. I trust you know your business. I guess if you're telling me to stop worrying about it, maybe I should just let it go. Thank you, friend.
These people seem nervous, which makes me nervous.
What is this we smell? This is good blood. Fresh for the taking.
I don't know, Droff. They'd skin us alive if we were doing this.
Oh, is this the castle king we smell? Oh, how we thirsted for your family. We could hear the echoes from that hall. You seek to harm us? Not wise, my friend, not wise at all.
Who's there?
Oh, we can taste it now. As soon as we plunge our claws into the flesh. Do you weep for them? Cry for this meat? But there is nothing that separates you from us, O Lord of Lords. Closer now, closer, closer to us. You'll soon join all the rest. Which way, which way, which way? Are we here? Are we here? Open the door, my lord. It is time for us to feed. At last, we meet once more, mighty lord. Oh, formalities. Yes, yes. We do love these little games of yours. No ravings. No, no. We were merely willing to feed and feed and feed. Oh, how it tastes so good. And why should we? Do we not exist to feed, to relish in the mortal's blood? We're only doing as we must. It is our right. Are you displeased with us? We only sought to use our finest gifts to rend with claw and fang. Oh, how it is delightful. You should really try a bit yourself. Would that we can, Lord Volkova? This is just the beginning. Harkin showed us that we do not need to slink about like a thug. We deserve to stand over these mortals, to bring them to heel like a sack of meat they are. Do we hear a challenge? We have hungered for the flesh the moment we laid eyes on you. Perhaps you think yourself better, clan or rank? I did assure you, that is definitely not the case. What is dead cannot die, yes. And it is time that we all showed the mortals what truly waits beyond. But first we think we shall start with you. Please shall enjoy this.
Can you in it? A world without a
My
sun.
liege, I hear that matters in Riften have died down. I take it the Khajiit wasn't too much trouble? I've already begun to smooth things over with Drelk, but they are in two minds about what happened. I believe relief has won out, however, and Maven proved to be amenable in seeing to the bodies. The families won't be asking any further questions either. In any case, you did us all a favor by putting that thing down for good. I will be able to see to the rest, my liege. Fear not. In the meantime, we can all breathe a little easier now that the interest from the remnants has eased off. I won't keep you any longer then. Again, thank you for your help in this.
What are you doing here? I hadn't expected to run into another of, well, us out here. Oh, just taking some time, I suppose. It hasn't been easy, as you know. It's strange, being back here, like this. It feels as if I'd never left, and yet, everything's changed now. Something like that. I watched the people here for a while, coming and going with the hustle and bustle of the marketplace. All I could feel was the pang of hunger, I mean. I know, but being here like this, it's as if trying to remember a dream, something I can't quite keep hold of, but I have to keep moving. I suppose you could say I'm searching for someone, a young girl that lived here much as I did, a long time ago. Oh no, those days are long past now. She is far too young for that anyway. A mortal girl, to be precise. She has been taken by some bad people, the kind that even you or I may think twice about dealing with. I suppose you could say I owe it to her, to myself, to get her back home. Truly? You would do that? I hadn't thought to ask, but this is something I need to do. I must do. The girl's name is Mia. I don't know her parents. She was alone when I found her on the road. Bringing her here was the best I could think of. It was too risky to keep her around. Here, but she had been picked up by a caravan traveling to the north. The woman here was no help. She couldn't tell me anything more about them. And well, I didn't wish to pry, in that way, I mean. Northeast, from what she said. Dawnstar, if that's enough to go on. This land is still strange to me, even after all this time. I agree. Time is of the essence now more than ever. I spoke with the Argonian in the tavern. It seems there is an inn on the edge of the tundra that sees a lot of merchants coming through. Nightingale, Night Thrall, or some such. The trip from here to the north of Skyrim is long, and this caravan must have stopped along the way. We have to pick up her trail before it's too late, and I don't want to arouse any more suspicion than I have. I will meet you there as soon as I can. We're coming, Mia. Just hold on. And for what it is worth, thank you.
It's so bright tight out here.
I am
don't know how you
forever
stand
in
it.
your debt for this. You made it! I was worried I may have given you the wrong directions. No, but the people here must have seen something, I'm sure of it. Let's ask around. You take the lead on this. I would probably just make a fool of myself.
The beds and beer are both lousy, you ask me.
Don't say much, but there's a strange aura about you. Don't know what you're talking about, stranger. Look, I'm just here to drink. Is there a reason you're asking me? I'm warning you, those people are killers. I wanted to say I'm sorry about what happened to your girl. By the gods, no! They have a ship. You will find it on the northern coast. Dead. What will happen now? I didn't mean nothing by it. Just leave me alone. I hate this stretch of road.
You didn't need to press the poor man like that. I heard. A ship along the coast, he said. The Sea of Ghosts covers a wide area. He could mean any number of wrecks, even Port at Solitude. That is true. Even a city as corrupt as Riften would take pause at openly welcoming slavers. A shame we couldn't get a better description of this group, but the man seemed more focused on his cups than talking. Me? No. That would be against the oath we've taken. I am sure we will be able to find Mia without it. By Stendar, I just hope we can get there in time. Yes, as will I. If I'm not already there by the time you arrive, I should be close. There is no time to spare now. We must find her before it's too late. I suppose it is. You wonder why I'd care so much for this girl compared to any other. That is a long story. For another time, perhaps. Come on, we need to move. Stay strong, Mia. I won't abandon you. Not now.
Who's there? I knew it. Done and done.
The poor girl must be freezing. Mia! Hold on!
Who's there?
No sign of her. Will be too late. Could have sworn this was the one, but there's no time to hesitate. I will keep moving. Follow when you can. Now is not the time for questions. Can't you see? Every minute we spend here, she may be dying. I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. I didn't mean to snap like that. Yes, and that is why I must do everything I can to see her safely back home, wherever that home may be. Perhaps I could even take her to the temple. Nirin and the others would understand. Agreed. Let's go.
Who's there?
Get moving. We don't have much time. voice too, didn't you? Mia? Mia!
I'm no fan
I'm
of the
here.
sun.
Talk
It would
to
be
me.
better than this.
Where is she? You don't think... No. It's all happening again. She was right there. We could hear her. Get up, damn it! Get up! I promised I'd be there for you. Namaris, all this doesn't matter. I didn't want to save myself. It would have all been worthwhile, just for you. But not enough. Never enough. It's too late either way. Even trying to turn her now, if I even wanted to. Everything and everyone I go near, it always turns bad. I thought I could use this. A new opportunity. A fresh start. Look at me. I'm pathetic. I failed as a mortal. I can't even do anything right as a vampire. Bystander. Mirren's talk about overcoming our nature, and yet here I am, destined to fail over and over and over again for the rest of time. What good does it do? What right do I have? I should have died in that fire, sister, not you. The heat on my face, people crying out, it was all I could do. No one knew how it started. I rushed to the window first, but her leg was stuck, pinned by a fallen bookcase. I came back to help. The smoke, it was filling my eyes then. It was hard to see. Megara's hand gripped mine, but it wouldn't budge. I promised I'd go for help, that I would only be a moment. I wouldn't let her die, but the tree collapsed inwards. We were just children then, but no one should ever have to hear their family burn to death in the fire. One girl and another. I truly am cursed. Everywhere I turn, even my very flesh has died. Save your words, Volkahar. There is nothing left to say. I will not leave her like this. Stay here. I will see to the pyre. Oh, it's you. How do you think? I've lost another life in my foolish crusade trying to, I don't know, better this world? Not sure I even know myself anymore. That being said, it has helped being back here among the others. Mirren was most kind, more than I deserve, frankly. Yes, I'm starting to understand that now. Back at the beach, you caught me at an, well, inopportune time. I've still been thinking about her a lot, you know. Those few short weeks we spent together. Found her near the ruins of a township, actually, near the border to Cyrodiil. The place was all burnt out and she was half mad from hunger. Poor kid, no one should have to have gone through that. I guess I saw a little of myself in her. At that stage, I still didn't really know where I was going. I think she caught on fairly quickly what I was, but never pried. Always liked that about her. That's the strange part, isn't it? I've not been around as long as some of the other kindred, but I've heard the stories. It starts slow. One night you can't recall your lover's face. Then those travelers on the road start to look a little too appealing. One by one, night after night, the hunger takes over, and not a trace of you or I is left. Perhaps. I suppose that makes what we're doing here, what Mirren is doing, all the more important, right? Make sure that all the pain, the suffering, the loss, it all means something. I suppose I have to believe in it too. What do you think? In any case, I am not so consumed by doubt that I would turn from my place here, and maybe you had a small part in that. I don't know if I can ever forgive myself. Throw all this away as if it was just a sack on a journey, but I suppose I need to try. Mia was a dear friend, a traveling companion that reminded me of better times. I will remain, for now at least. If nothing else, I owe her that much.
Lord, always a pleasure. Indeed, Yashim has been quick to inform the clan about your findings at the temple. To think that the Folmare would turn even his own kin, few as they are. His hatred must have been immeasurable. I did hear mention of something like that, leading to keys no less. I would think Drelk has little patience for these games. As for whether I can make heads or tails of it, perhaps. There was mention of a serpent in ice, I believe. I have heard talk of a place far to the east that may have what you seek. I have not been there myself, but perhaps you will be able to learn more. A word of caution. There will be many kindred vying for these Folmare now, their blood almost as powerful as they are. I would not wish to see you come to harm, but regardless, the clan stands with you to the end.
Must find the ceremonial dagger. Was it ivory or silver? I can never remember. What? Oh, you again. Not now, not now. I've only just remembered the central properties of Awesome blood. Very useful, you know. It can be used as an agent to concoct a powerful stimulant, useful for staving off fevers, even pustules on the skull. What, that swill they sell in Riften? Awful taste. But I admit, curiosity did get the better of me. At least until I spent the better part of an evening coughing up a lung or three. Plenty of Folmare around Skyrim, as you should well know. Damn pests show up as surely as the winter's wind. Clear one nest and soon 3 will pop up in its place. They're like rodents. Alright, calm down, calm down. No need to get all worked up. I could hardly get a word in with you talking like that. Ah, the Archcurate. What a delicious irony, to have the Aldmeri sun god fall into shadow. I should have liked to ask him questions. Oh, very well. I suppose I can spare the time. I trust you have some kind of proof to this. Maybe brilliant, but I'm no mind reader. Parchment. How novel. Let's see here. Mind splintered by Dragon's Gate. The mind splintered is the part I don't recognize, amusingly enough. But Dragon's Gate, I wonder. The dragon is a common depiction of the Septim dynasty, the central figurehead of this so-called empire that I have had the misfortune of hearing about. If you ask me, this is just mortals playing their little games, as they are wont to do. But if it means anything to you, this may involve Cyrodiil. Yes. There's definitely no need to get all worked up over a simple riddle. Do let me know if you find it, yes? The elves, I mean. The key, less so. Without the door, it's about as useful as a pair of 2 odd boots. Come and speak with me, if you have the time. I must talk with you more about what I've been working on. Until then, off you go. If I have to listen to that bumbling fool sing one more time, I think I may scream. Who in Mora's name thought giving a gargoyle sentience was wise? Ah, yes, I almost forgot. Now that we've received confirmation of these ancient snow elves laying about the place, I wanted to ask a favor. Ha! Oh no, nothing particularly nefarious. Or disgusting, at least this time. Harkin did prove rather disinclined to my investigations. But worry not, it's fairly straightforward, actually. Well, in the event that this isn't some kind of trick and that the Folmare do indeed exist, I would relish the opportunity to get my hands on some of their blood. Before you ask, no, it is not merely to slake my hunger, although I imagine it would prove quite the delicacy. These elves represent the perfect resource for my studies into unlocking our blood's true potential, untouched for centuries. Wonderful. That is all I ask, my lord. But if my theory is correct, this could prove beneficial to the both of us.
What's this? Does this one come for words or for battle? Oh, I can see you for what you are. Oh yes, 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 yes. Sharply biting fangs, blasphemous eyes. You have killed many, many, many. What brings you, Winged One, from Hollow Knight? Come to compare with the old Dunlap, hmm? I have mushrooms, many mushrooms. Do you wish sweet? Some poisonous, others not. That's all part of the fun. Is this time for riddles? It loves riddles. The twisty words, twisting and winding. I can pull that tongue from your mouth. A key, you say? A key? There are many keys, many doors, many places with things to find. Oh no. No, 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 no. It cannot be that easy. It has collected many things, many times, many places. Your little blood won't work on us. Which key? To which door? So many places, so little time. Do I? Never asked for you, never seen you before. But your fangs are sharp, not the first they've seen. You wish to play a game? Answer 3 riddles, and perhaps he may have something. Perhaps a fish, perhaps a hat. Nothing's ever simple. Never, never, never. Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, how we do so love the games. Oh, what fun. Now, no peeking, no teensy tricksy things. First one. I make song without air, from a place only the deepest sea. What am I? That was an easy one. We shall see if you have the winding mind to keep up. I take countless coin and treasure, but I can never have enough. No matter how much you give, I always want more. What am I? Oh, well done! Not much farther now. Key's almost yours for the taking. Last one. A warm embrace on winter's eve, and yet the cold wind can stifle me. What am I? They must have looked it up somehow. Cheated Eric from his game. No fair. No fair at all. But here it be. The ancient key. Go on then. Leave them to my sulking.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon. One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
Yeah.
I've got a hungry daughter to feed, so selling my produce is really the only thing I can do.
Speak with your Sheem. I do not wish to intrude upon your time.
You found them, I hope. This better not have been all for nothing.
My liege, a pleasure to see you in fine health. Or whatever passes for it in undeath. This is excellent news. I trust that riddle didn't end up giving you too much trouble then. I would hope that others are more straightforward next time. As you can see, we have been discussing the next steps and believe we may have come to a conclusion. Precisely. I have received reports of other kindred moving around the province, no doubt following the same trail. At first, we suspected it was pointing to the Falmer themselves, rather than a specific location. But this, deep below, may change things. Rather than merely hinting at the associated iconography, Aurelia most commonly attributed to the sun, what if it was a location? Your wisdom proves invaluable yet again, my liege. Indeed, also known as Falzardam Din in the Old Tongue. The Dwemer were nothing if not cryptic. The sun far deep below is what we believe the riddle's referring to, a great orb in the underground city. If these Falmer have remained in Skyrim, they'll be there. While time is of little importance to Kindred, Uther would have hardly ventured far. There's something else you should know. It would seem the unrest among the kindred of the province has attracted not only our attention, but also the remnants of this Dawn Guard. I fear their previous incarnation has been replaced with a newer one, more extreme in measure.
It seems they have found us first.
Oh, wonderful. I've been wanting to try my new elixirs on mortal flesh.
Everyone prepare yourselves! My liege, you'd best get here as soon as possible. Defend the castle and your rightful lord at all costs, for Volkihar!
We will feast this night. Delicious. Weakness will not be tolerated. The mortals know it well.
Anyone to see me like this. All this blood, I just don't know how it makes me feel. Part of me wants to throw up, but the other, I don't want to be like that. I know. You should get back inside. The others will be waiting for you, I think. I think I should go wash this off.
What day, boss? Gar kill? Soon as Gar saw metal man, Gar thinking, must protect boss. Gar the fight. Gar win. Gar just starting now. Gar wait here. Gar defend boss. Gar knows order. Follow boss forever. Castle ours.
This must be that beautiful Skyrim weather I've always heard about.
My liege, I do so hate dirtying my hands. Not especially. If any have fallen, it only shows they were weak enough to let a mortal best them. These dregs made a costly mistake coming anywhere near Volkihar, and they paid dearly. I concur, but if the Dawn Guard is aware of our movements, then it stands to reason that others won't be far behind. Drelk, the minor clans. I'm certain there'll be many kindred vying to have the Falmer to themselves. Never mind the consequences. If you are ready, my liege, then return to us and we shall move at your word. I hear Drauk's unruly guest has been dealt with. I don't envy you, my liege. You did well to survive a wight. I will see it done, my liege. I have already made preparations for our departure as well. The castle will not be left unattended, should any try their luck. Give the word and we shall accompany you to put this matter to rest, once and for all. A rest after this will be most welcome, I think. Perhaps a decade or two before the next grand threat. Indeed. Then so be it. Let us be off.
Everyone, fall behind your rightful lord. Long has it been since Volkihar has marched upon the world. But we must do it now, lest more fools doom us all. Only we can be trusted with this responsibility, no one else.
Well said, my lord. Now, to business.
least the scenery is nice.
I sense a great many creatures crawling through the area. We will have to fight our way through to the Silent City.
We'll be right behind you, my liege. We are with you, my liege. Lead the way.
Come, let us keep moving.
So, this is where you got that scroll from, yes? Fascinating. I would love to spend some time here. After we're finished, of course.
Fighting an ancient, not wise. Strange that the elves chose this place of all things. Refuge among those that destroyed them.
Hope you said your goodbyes. Some rubble. How unexpected.
We're not getting in that way. Does anyone see another way forward?
There, above us. Another door.
It would seem that is our best way in then. Come, let's get to it. We need to find some way beneath the city. After you, my liege. Be wary of any creatures that may be lying in wait.
I'm okay with the dark, but I've spent more than my share of time in caves.
Won't leave here alive.
Something. I knew I heard something. Right there.
Oh, that was rather unpleasant. I see my skills at sea haven't improved in the slightest.
Great power has spawned here. Centuries, perhaps eons. Not much farther now.
We never expected this to be easy, but still, remain on guard.
About time you got here. I would hate to start things off without the proper audience, my lord.
Iva, what in Stendar's holy breeches are you?
Come on now. Don't tell me you haven't figured it out yet. You'd seriously think we'd let a weapon this powerful go to waste with you? All we had to do is sit back, wait, and you do all the work for us. Volkahar's always been so predictable.
You are reckless, much as you ever were. The Fallmare are not a tool to be used, but a danger to us all. They must be destroyed.
Like Oriel's bow. Like the blood that runs through each and every one of us.
Don't listen to her. It was a mistake.
Not at all. It was a gift, and I will not stand by and let your folks squander it.
I don't like this. I don't want to be here anymore.
Quit your whining, whelp. You're about to see the future. For all of us.
Iva, please. Don't do this. You have no idea what you're about to unleash.
Ugh. I'm so damn tired of listening to you people whine. Why do you think the elf left a trail behind in the first place? He wanted us, Drelk, the strongest of all clans, to wield them as we see fit.
Even if what you say is true, it doesn't matter. Only we have the keys to open where they're sleeping.
Is that so? Must have thought you were pretty damn smart, huh? You didn't think it was a little too easy, getting the keys as you did? After all, why would Vyther have left it sitting out in the open? Right in the middle of Whiterun, as if anyone could come along and take it. Not once did you think to question it. Recognize this? You know, for a clan who's always so high up their own ass, you really fail to see the bigger picture, don't you? We were never going to beat you with pure numbers. But turns out those brutes within Drelg were a step ahead the whole time. Doesn't it? Of course, your mind might be starting to wander now. Think about how all of this has been resolved a little too neatly. It doesn't strike you as strange that despite everything you've done, we somehow made it here first, even that bitch from the temple. Maybe I do prefer a brawl sometimes, but knowledge has its uses. Nowhere else to fall back but bravado, huh? Your precious clan is starting to fall apart. If anything, it only shows there's need for a change in leadership, both in Skyrim and in Volkihar. Oh no, I won't be doing that. You still think you can control this, when you focus entirely on yourself. You're not fit to rule Volkihar. You're not even fit to have the blood running through those veins. You're a whelp, a fledgling. Harkon's death was pure luck. You've led your brethren right into a trap. Strength and the power to rule, that is what defines the clans. You have shown neither. Only I have the right to hold all the keys, and it is I that will decide how these Falmer are used. Save your talk. I've already won. You just don't know it yet. Focus on the door behind us, fledgling. Feel that raw power. The very essence of who we are. It's coursing through this place. And what is behind that? It will reshape our world forever. It is beautiful. The others weren't so sure at first, but while we waited for your arrival, I couldn't help it. I had to see for myself. Can't you hear the song? Surely you can feel it, just as we all do. I knew from the moment that bitch tried to reach out to them. I had to see. I had to see them with my own eyes. I haven't felt like this since my first night on the hunt. You are more than welcome to try, Lord of Volkihar. I will tear the viscera from all of creation, feast on the innards so there is nothing left but blood. The blood, it surrounds us now. I have seen beyond the door already, and I will have it all for myself. It's not my blood you need to worry about. I will tear your guts Horses step over on the road to the new world. Only one of us will make it out of here. Precious blood, I sing to thee. Grant me deliverance. You will not stand in my way. No one shall stand in my way again.
Ishki, no! Why did it have to be like this? I thought Lamaris was trying to help.
I didn't want it to end this way, but I suppose we were never going to succeed, were
Why
we?
did it have to be like this?
To be honest, I
thought
have no
Lamaris
idea
was
what I'll
trying
do
to
now.
help.
I can't even think straight.
I knew we were going to go up against true monsters, but that strength! It was unlike any other kindred I've met.
Save your words. I don't have to listen to you. You expecting a hug, an apology? Go lick your wounds like the rest of these cowards. You really want to do this? You've already won, haven't you? Drelk is gone, and here I am. All that's left. So, you really want to die, huh? I wouldn't mind letting off some steam. Then so be it. Stand back, Volkihar. This coward is mine. You are mine. Well fought. Well fought indeed.
My liege, you survived. Thank all the divines, Daedra, and any other god for that matter, except Aurelia. It would seem so, but as you can see, none of us have made it without taking some losses. Aroa, the girl's humanity proved to be her weakness in the end. I hope she found some relief. The two of you disappeared in a haze before we could intervene. No one knew what to do at first, but soon the doors crashed open. Without so much as a word, the Falmer flew out, ripping through anyone closest to them. These were not just wights, but true ancients. Their hunger was immeasurable. I was beginning to suspect as much. After all, he had left those notes for Mirren to find. And what better knowledge is there of Kindred than from one of our own? The keys, this prophecy. You'd think we'd have learned after all this time. I agree. I think we'd all rather forget what has happened here. It will take a great deal to recover from this, but we have been through worse. You'd best step back, my liege. I hate being near this stuff myself. Drelk won't be able to recover from this. I suspect it's the end for them. Many clans have risen and fallen over the centuries, and yet here Volkihar remains. I know it was not by choice, but I feel terrible for having risked your safety, my liege. All of ours. Is there something troubling you? Ever since you returned without Iva, you've seemed distracted, if I may be so bold. That is indeed disquieting. I don't suppose she supplied any proof of this. I had wondered how they got here so quickly, even before we did. And I fear we shall just have to wait and see. Centuries pass, kingdoms rise and fall, and here we are, still playing the same old games. It is enough to make one wish for the final death at times. But I won't keep you any longer, my liege. Lilith and I shall return to the castle. As ever, if there's anything you require, you need only ask. Farewell.
I had a feeling you would come. I know. She died protecting me. A kindred. A monster. Tell me, did you at least stop them? I suppose that will have to suffice, won't it? Something to console myself with. I set these events in motion, did I not? I provided you with the information that led to countless deaths, countless suffering. What a fool I was, trying to change our nature, when all I did was push you all further to the extreme. Everything that has happened, what Iva did, the blood is on my hands, no one else. It would seem so. Would that I had tears to shed, or the energy to weep. I have doomed not only myself, but all those who followed in my path. Those that believed me, what we stood for. Stewing in despair doesn't even begin to atone for what I have wreaked upon my fellows, and their trust, all for nothing. I am as hollow as the idol I once aspired to. Oh, Torush, how I wish you were here now. What would you have done in my place? No, I suppose you're right. Besides, I have no place to speak. Please, allow me a short time here before I accompany you. There is something I must do. Goodbye, kind spirit. Please, let my name fade from history. That is already more than I deserve. I'm sorry.
You survived. So I've heard. Iva's doing was her own fate. It's not the first, nor the last. It's the way things go. Sit here, ponder. Might think about what to do next. No, too much left around here. Too many memories. Might go home to Valenwood. See if the hunt is good this time of year. Would that I could say the same for your clan. If you haven't already learnt why, you will soon enough. Know that you speak with Karo, the last of the drug clan in Skyrim. But it is good, I think, that it'll die with me. Farewell, Lordling. I do not envy your position.
I'm okay with the dark.
Gar sorry, boss. Gar no me let Thrall go? Boss sounds sad. Would like Gar sing? Gar loves sing. Boss no like? Oh, alright then. But what trouble, boss? Where others go? Why Gar no come? Boss lose fight? Why Gar no there to help? No lose heart, boss. You best boss. Boss of big castle. Are like you. Thank you, boss. No, Gar go back to guard. No metal med sneaky this time.
The fact that you returned at all, even more so unbroken, is remarkable. Few ever are. You, however, have been changed by the experience. What does the blood tell you of what happened? That is to be expected, it would seem. Many of us have lived for many, many years, but even we were unfamiliar with the Foolmare's intentions. His hatred proved to be his people's undoing. The Cabal may not have been alone. His people could have endured in secret, untainted by poison. Alas, he was blinded, as so many betrayers are. From the other clans, if they have made it this far, they will likely go to ground. But even Ancient-born are unlikely to survive alone. We may act otherwise, but we were never intended to be solitary creatures. It is both a blessing and a curse to find ourselves among a clan. In any case, it is unlikely that we shall hear from any of them again. Of course, I am one of your brethren, and I will not abandon this place, no matter how dire things may be. Should you ever wish to speak, or require advice, you know where I'll be.
My liege, it's good to see you again. No, not that I believe. I suppose we will need to rebuild our numbers after what has happened. It seems most of the kindred in Skyrim have gone to ground since Drelk's destruction. I can't imagine anyone wants to squabble now. That will change at some point, but it is quiet for the time being, and I'm almost at a loss at what to do with myself. Me? I'm only here to act upon your will, my liege. I do not wish to burden you with any of my problems. Well, I admit, I have had some trouble putting recent events behind us. The feeling down in that chamber, I have never felt such a thing before, nor do I wish to again. You returned from wherever Iva had pulled you to, but it was as if looking into the heart of blood itself. I have not felt fear in many, many years, but what happened down there, it has shaken me to my core. What happened to you there? What happened to Iva when you disappeared? I see. Yet another reminder of not meddling with power beyond our control. Worry not, however. I will not let this get in the way of my duties, Lord. Volkihar stands strong and true. Of course, my liege.
Truly? Oh, excellent. I thought they may have been lost in all the carnage. There was enough blood coating the crypt already. May I? The smell is rather delectable, isn't it? Nevertheless, I did promise to make something from it. Such is the burden of the alchemist. Now, let's see here. I know I have my pestle around here somewhere. A fair question. First of all, I need to confirm the properties of this substance before we proceed any further. Of course, we will need to proceed with the samples sparingly. I doubt there will be any more of this turning up in the local hospice, no? Not to worry. I'm sure my research will be just fine. Now, to business. Find a seat. This may take a while. No, that's not it. How about nightshade extract, perhaps? Okay, that was a bad idea. It's as if the blood is able to restructure itself at will. Fascinating. I've never seen kindred such as this. Now, all I need to do is just heat it briefly and... Oh ho, do I ever. Even after studying it briefly, the properties of Falmiri blood are frankly miraculous. There's no other word to describe it. Naturally, the ones we have grown accustomed to lack the resilience of their forebears, but pure vampire blood is something else entirely. I won't bore you with all the details, though I'd be happy to regale you with them at a later date. Simply know that these creatures were immensely powerful. The kind of power that we were very fortunate indeed not to face on the scale of an army. The latent magic alone is unlike anything I've seen. Mere hours are unlikely to provide a substantial benefit, but I do believe I've uncovered a little something for you. Here, hold still a moment. There we are. What? You said you wanted something, didn't you? As I said, given time, I may be able to uncover something further from studying it. However, I do believe I've found something very useful for our esteemed lord. Very useful indeed. Oh, you'll be fine. Probably. We are pushing the boundaries of gnome medicine, even more so among our kind. As you've probably figured out by now, we aren't exactly renowned scholars, but who knows, maybe I can change that. But that's enough of that. Go on, my most wondrous liege, and do let me know of any unwanted side effects.
My liege, all quiet here as of late, although that may be about to change. Loath as I am to admit it, that gargoyle of yours has proven itself to be quite the watchdog in deterring any would-be visitors from the castle. Unfortunately, the reach of this gar does not extend so far as to affect the coast south of here. We have a great deal of trouble brewing. Indeed, it seems that word of the clan has spread far and wide, and a number of kindred have been seeking to join us. Without wishing to trouble you further, a few of them have amounted to anything more than sycophants hoping to get a taste of true power. Beyond one or two that had the misfortune of overstaying their welcome, as it were, most have been readily dismissed. It would seem that someone is killing and eating these kindred, near our very doorstep no less. Potentially, but they would be very foolish to meddle, given all that you have accomplished thus far. I suppose it is possible that a stray wight has made it this far north without being detected, but... Thank you, my liege. It is troubling that this could happen so close to our holdings. In any case, it's the eating part that I find more disconcerting. I suppose we can rule out any would-be do-gooders from the Dawn Guard. Just near the docks to the castle, I have already warned the Thalmor presence in North Watch from meddling in our affairs, so you will be left alone. Lilith is busy investigating the scene already. Speak with her if you wish to learn more. Oh, and another thing. This Gar you freed, it or he may have also learned something useful from his time on watch, though I wouldn't count on it. Of course. And do be careful, my lord.
Boss! Oh, not good, boss. Much blood. Gar slip. Gar no see good at night. Too dark. But scream loud. No like. No harm, boss. Gar watch, boss. No hurt, boss. Boss careful, yes?
It is good you have come. Yashim has been getting increasingly concerned since they began. Very little of this fledgling remained. You can see the bite marks clearly on the bone. Potentially another lord. Given it had the strength to rip this one apart with ease, the fledgling didn't stand a chance. I am afraid not. Yashim has been attending to the strays, seeking to curry favor with the clan. Their blood is weak, however. Not a true kindred in strength. Yes, I have already spoken with the detachment nearby. They proved to be resistant at first, but soon understood the gravity of the situation. It seems they have also lost a number of their own, with scouting parties no longer straying far from their keep. An interesting question. It seems we are dealing with a lord that is very old and very close to losing all self-control. Notice the way the limbs have been scattered apart and little flesh remains. That is not the work of a masterful predator, but animalistic hunger. We would be wise not to underestimate whoever is behind this. This level of carnage is unlike anything I have seen. Hardly the most elegant way to die. It seems we are dealing with something that is far beyond the usual stray. Do you recognize the taste at all? Indeed. And that is not something the others of the clan are used to dealing with. Few would ever reach this level of savagery. It may be that we must extend our suspicions beyond our own, to something else entirely. Perhaps another creature entirely. Are there any you suspect? The lichen. That would explain the ferocity. The bite marks on the bones we have found would also match a larger jaw. If that is the case, then we will need to be doubly cautious about dealing with this threat. The hatred between our kind is long and bloody. Some, like these companions in the south, are able to control themselves at will, but of the few I have personally encountered, they are feral. Little different than other wild animals as they squat in caves, leaving only to hunt for whatever meat they can get. For the inexperienced lichen, they will take root near a township, after which its citizens will usually drive it out or kill it before it causes too much harm. The fact that this one has been able to elude a clan for so long, our clan, is a point of concern. This is not a feral dog, but a skilled hunter. Indeed, all the more reason to move quickly then. Wild lichens have no reason to seek out comfort, as they almost exclusively spend their time in animal form. It would need to move in and out from the shore with relative ease, while also being fairly secluded from any foolish travelers to stumble in. There is only one place nearby that would fit that description, an icy burrow. I am with you all the way, my lord. Prepare yourself. This fight will be bloody.
Somebody help!
Do not underestimate them. They combine the brute strength of the guile of a true hunter. Impressive, my lord. Your keen eye proved to be his doom. And you weren't ever going to fall for its ruse. We are fortunate to have you at the head of our clan. Now that these attacks are at an end, I must return to the castle. If Yashim does not already make it obvious, the clan owes you a debt for this. It would have been inevitable that the Lycans started preying on our own next. Thanks to your intervention, that is no longer a concern. Come, I will see you safely back to Volkihar.
Somebody help! It won't die, it just keeps coming! Werewolf!
I don't know.
Help me! Don't leave me alone. Foul blood drinker! Die, vampire!
An unfortunate turn of events. Of course, but you failed to pick up on the obvious clues, my liege. Near where it lay in human form was the broken half of the sword you examined. Perhaps or you are merely projecting the shame you feel for being duped by it. It was a mistake, but not a costly one. I would have torn its head off before it could truly hurt you. Nevertheless, it is a valuable lesson to learn, to assess one's targets fully, lest they catch you unawares. Indeed you are, my liege, and it was for your own sake that I wished to impart this lesson. Do not take offense. I am not judging you for it. In any case, the beast is now dead, and we will be able to rest easier with the beast no longer prowling along the shore. Come, I will see you safely back to Volkihar. You should feed before anything else.